I used to walk these roads with you. Can't remember the last time I went without you. Where do I go? Where do I go? How will I know? How will I know? I used to walk these roads with you. Can't remember the last time I went without you. Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go? How will I know? How will I know? I used to walk these roads with you. Can't remember the last time I went without you. Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd follow you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you.
What is up, everyone? We are coming to you live from Sacramento.
Can you believe you're here?
It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. I'm the Golden Blazer. We're hanging out with BotLady. We are gonna sweat this final table at Stones Live.
I can't wait.
We have 9 ready-to-go players. We are fired up for some final table action. BotLady, are you pumped for tonight's action?
I have no idea what's going on, but I can't wait to find out all together. Let's see.
Go. And we have Nick D under the gun, 10-7, easy fold. First correct decision of the night. There we go. There we go. 2 for 2 on these folds. All right, so we have a nice little, let's see if it was a raise or a call. It is a raise here from SMDH. He has 300K, so he is looking pretty solid. And it looks like the big blind is going to flatten. We're going to see a flop here. SMDH in position and does flop the set ball. It's going to be tough for him to get paid off, though, of course.
Wow. I mean, that's what you want to see when you have a little pair like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can slow play the heck out of it if you need to.
You can, and he's going to be frustrated. He doesn't get any value, and I think you're fine betting there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a board that a lot of your range misses. You're really only having a lot of the paired jacks, and you're going to have a lot of like weird overs or one over and heart draws. But
so look at Norman sitting here 922K, and Nick D all the way down at the bottom with 48K. That's our chip leader and our short stack, and all the way in between. What's our seat numbers and player names here going on? TGB, you got the list?
I have the chip counts.
Oh.
That would be useful information, wouldn't it? The type of information that we should write down. We'll probably figure it out as we watch our 9 battlers here.
Okay.
We have Joe in seat 6 under the gun. He has 171. There we go. Easy game.
Okay.
121 there though.
Okay. We're all learning together what's going on. So did you play any hands with these players while you went out 30th?
Yes, I took 30th in this tournament. The plan was to not commentate. The plan was to be at the final table. But you know, instead we're in the commentary booth. It's fine. It happens. We bust. They're MTTs.
This is like a win in itself, right? Hanging out in here.
And we're gonna have a jam here from Nick D. He is the short stack, and he's gonna get all his chips in. And
Can you blame him?
It's actually a spot where Norman actually does have to awkwardly call this. It's obviously a super crazy wide raise from the hijack, which he's the chip leader, so he's going to be making super crazy wide raises.
Yeah.
But this is 28 to win 84, so he's getting like, you know, he only needs like 30+% equity. And so, I mean, this is a spot he's like just supposed to call, but he just feels really dumb because he doesn't want to. I think part of this is he doesn't want to show that he raised 6-5 because then the table's just going to like super take advantage of that. And so, yeah, and so he does have to call and he does have to show the 6-5 and he's going to be sad that he runs into the kings, but he has the equity to call, and so he has to call, and now he just has to hope that he, you know, gets obviously super lucky on this run out.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Boom.
Boom.
What happens.
Oh, what a sweat.
Always has to be a sweat for the kings, doesn't it?
And everyone thinks this is pretty interesting.
All right. We're going to see the turn.
Hey, thank you.
A drink delivery. Hey, what's
there you
up?
go. How's it going?
Yo.
Hey,
we got a
look
full
who showed up.
house tonight.
No, he's right on time. Don't worry. JDR in the house.
The JDR in the house.
Kings full of queens.
And it is a clean run out, though, for the king. So he's going to get the double. A well-deserved double. But, you know, it always comes with the sweat. It always comes with the sweat. JD, how's your day today? Any interesting things you did?
How's it going? Good. Interesting. This is the most interesting part of my day right here. What's up, chat? How's it, guys? Yeah, it is.
It's
great.
It's the best part of everyone's day.
How's everything going? Twitch chat. Welcome to me, I guess. I'm last.
Thanks, Twitch
welcome,
chat.
Welcome to JD. Yes,
how's the action? We got BotLady. How's it going?
I'm great. I'm golden.
Yeah.
Oh.
Golden.
Oh, BotLady
Golden
firing the jokes early today. Right.
What up, man? Illusion.
And my drink is
what
golden
up,
too, everyone.
Whoa, there we go.
How's the action going?
No giveaways. We actually just watched, I believe, the second hand. Okay.
Nice.
That we saw.
Jack 9 of spade. I like this.
There hasn't been any super interesting action yet. Yeah, I assume he raises, and he does raise the Jack 9 from the cutoff. should be a fold from the small blind, and the big blind should defend pretty wide. That should be a defend, and it does look like Joe is going to defend it for sure.
So the chip leader here, Juan, did you get up against him at all on the way?
I played against I forget what acronym he's going by,
He
but I think
flops a
it's
flush.
JD. No, it's MH. Whatever
Wow.
the player with the acronym name is. I played against him,
Okay.
and so we'll kind of talk about like some things that I learned from him as he's playing hands, and kind of break down what I perceived his ranges to be like. I believe he's the only player that I played against.
Teddy says hi, by the way.
Oh, that's good to hear. So it loads. We do get an all-in and a call here, and obviously the 6-5 in a not very good situation with 2% equity.
Well, he's like, I hit the flop. Hey, right? Let's see what happens here.
And the 6 is now an out, or the 3.
It went from 2 to 3%.
Yeah.
Can't see his face here. No, that's somebody else there, covering their face up. Oh no! Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh!
No way! What a run out! I mean,
wow.
when you're the chip leader, I guess you can
Yikes! I just caught the tail end of that.
afford that pot to lose it,
Yikes.
but with
I'm not
the
sure
flop,
how it went down, but looks like when did they ship it?
It was all in on the flop.
Yeah.
And
sick run
just-
out.
yeah, I mean sometimes
2%.
you get lucky.
Yeah, 2%. 2%. Had to go runner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get lucky.
Wow, you guys. Big hand there for Joe. And I don't know why he covered his face here.
Can you sign out here for me so I can mod it too?
He was maybe sweating for his friend there. I don't know.
I see the name Norman. Is that
So-
Norman that I know?
We have a stack now with 1K, so that will be that will be
Whoa.
fun.
Wow.
I've seen
oh,
comebacks.
he wasn't the chip leader. Oh, my
that
bad,
have
my
been
bad.
Incredible.
I've
before.
actually
I just got here. How many mistakes have I made already? 10, you guys?
No, you're doing
Like,
it. You're doing
no, I thought he was the chip leader. He wasn't. Yeah, I totally
One
messed that
game?
up.
That's one
Ooh,
mistake.
man.
What? That's a big one.
I think
Wrong
we're
tournament.
up to I think we're allowed to make at least 20 mistakes.
20?
I think is the rule. Yeah,
Alright.
I think I'd set the over under at 20 and a half mistakes that we make tonight.
20, I'm
so
feeling that.
All right,
know,
sounds
Absolutely.
we do get a raise from SMDH. So this is the player that I do have a minor amount of history with. I probably played with him for 2.5 hours. So obviously this is a very standard raise under the gun. An interesting 3-bet from Richard here, and this is obviously not going to work out for him. Should be a 4-bet by SMDH over top, but we will see how he plays it. There is some interesting ICM situation
Tell us
here,
about
but-
the ICM. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, so ICM stands for Independent Chip Model. It basically relays the value of your chips to how much money those chips are worth. And so SMDH does flat here, and this is
So
going to be
it
awkward.
gives a monetary value to the chip, like a dollar value based on the cash price.
Sort of, yeah. So you basically, if you're going to do ICM calculations, you input each person's stack into like a program, and then it'll spit out for you essentially what percentage of the prize pool that's worth.
Okay.
And so because of that, there are spots where if you have a very high percentage of the prize pool, if you do anything, you might risk a lot of spots. And this is not a good hand here for SMDH because by not 4-betting there at the ace king, the flop comes very, it misses both of them. But Richard in position having 3-bet, SMDH has to give it up, and he's not going to be happy about that. And that's a spot that if you 4-bet, obviously Richard has to fold the ace 5 there, or the ace 8 there.
Not everyone's gonna 4-bet ace king.
It's true. I think that especially, we're at what? He's 50 effective right now. I think you get an ace king and you just hope for the best. Especially if you have someone that's gonna 3-bet ace 8 suited under the gun +1. Obviously he doesn't know that now, but
what happened to 5-bet no matter what?
Yeah.
BotLady.
Yeah. It's a good strategy.
No matter what, 5-bet.
Yeah.
only 5-bet.
Yeah. No, you just keep re-raising till your opponent either folds or you win or lose the hand. Either way, you put the max
That's
pressure.
inevitable.
You can't win the hand if you fold, is what I've always heard. So
yeah.
makes sense to
Max pressure, everyone.
me. No, for sure. That's a tricky spot because he's gonna be feeling some pressure, but and
Chad,
of course,
how are we liking the players on this? Oh, that is Norm. No, by the way, guys, I want to take a moment to say that Norm here is, I would say, one of the most dangerous people on this table.
Really?
He's also the chip leader.
He's one of those.
Right?
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I
chip
saw that
leader.
earlier. But he's one of those silent sleepers.
So
or
you've
is that what they
you've
call
played
them?
with him before?
Oh yeah, I've known him for a
So
while.
what's
He's
his
a good
style
player.
like?
What's his style? I think
Yeah.
it's like 3 letters. WIN. I think that's his style right there.
Okay.
I
Does he just
no-
play every pot? Does he like to get active? I mean,
Well, we're gonna see. Actually, I'm gonna try not to give away too much.
why not? That's our job.
Because it's our job is to make sure that we find this stuff out together.
What?
right?
No, I
Yeah.
want all the dirt, all the
All of us-
details,
all of
all
us
the loot.
Together. This is
Together.
a family.
I can get behind
Ooh,
that. I
look
can
at
get-
this.
We're all working together.
I want
And
the
we have
scoop.
a pretty good hold. Actually, Norman here sits with a pair of 9s, and he's sitting on, what is this? Under the gun +1.
Yeah.
And is it? Oh, it's on him. 30,000 to call. A 3-bet buy. Who is that?
Davy Gravy.
Davy
with the ace
Gravy.
jack.
Okay.
He does make the call, and so now this is going to be another interesting spot, right? Because we saw this exact same hand, or this exact same setup, the very last hand where we had SMDH flat the 3-bet with Ace King, and then had to awkwardly give up. Now this is going to be a little different. Norman has 9s. There is an all-in player, so it's a little bit of a different scenario. But being out of position in a 3-bet pot is never something that you really want to do, especially when, you know, the amount of pressure you can put on Davy Gravy is always good. But flatting the 9s here is perfectly fine as well, and we'll see what comes on this flop.
So what was the buy-in again? The Golden Blazer.
350 buy-in, 30K guarantee.
Okay.
Yep. It was just a great way, and so this is now an all-in from Norman, and of course Davy Gravy with the easy call with top, and this looks like it's gonna hurt Norman's stack a little bit, assuming he doesn't bink one of the 9s or hit the runner. You know, he could hit a 10 for an open ender, or he has various options to hit. But you know, this is a spot where if Norman piles pre, he might get the fold out of the ace jack. And he's basically committed on most flops anyway. So we see a diamond and
Whoa.
the ace of diamonds. So the king jack player with the 1K. So this was the sweat.
Wow.
This is the sweat. He had 1K.
Gets there.
And now he
sweat.
has
Wow.
11K,
Hey,
which
let's go.
is he has now.
Hey, you cannot be happy about that. Come
Gotta
on,
be
man.
fired up.
1K. Let's go.
You gotta be fired up.
Did Logan and Sam play as well?
They did, yes. They both. I lasted longer than both of them. I would like everyone in chat rip on
No doubt.
Logan, please, for busting before me in the tournament.
Hey.
Logan's gonna get it.
But no one cashed, sadly.
Oh no. What was the bubble?
I think they paid 20.
Okay. So you almost made it.
I
Logan,
wasn't
not
playing
Wolverine.
to cash. I was playing at the very least to final table.
I get it. You were trying to make a big stack.
Hey,
Place
I had
winner
the
of
jacket. I
Our
had to-
last
I had to win.
Saturday. That's Logan.
Did you get a lot of questions
Yesterday.
today? Like, what's with the jacket?
I didn't wear the jacket.
Chevron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I was just looking like a normal person. Although
Got
some people
it.
did recognize me from yesterday.
Yeah.
But no, I was just looking like a normal person until about 40 minutes ago.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. All right, so from 1K, I'm enjoying this sweat.
Yeah.
1K to 11K. I believe the least chips that I've ever want to sit and go with was 75.
Oh, really?
I was chipped down to 75 chips and I won it. But I think that's the least I've ever had. Granted, that's a little different, obviously, because this was 1/6 of a big blind, and that was probably like a blind and a half at that.
Yeah, I think the most I ever came back from was 1 blind. Yeah.
Oh, yeah? I
Yeah.
think I was knocked out, but somehow I got back in there
Yeah.
without re-entering.
Yeah.
How about that? No, that's
that
false.
seems like an angle shoot right there.
I
That
believe-
sounds
I
like-
believe you-
I shouldn't be sharing this information.
Can we get a tournament director in here?
Yeah, I
please?
know. Wait, what date was this?
How many entries were there in this tournament?
Yeah, we got a lot of
think it
questions.
was home
We
game.
got a lot of.
I think it was my house, and it was my rules.
Mm.
JK. I don't
mean-
do that.
Hey, if it's your house, your rules. You can.
Mill
that's
asks,
good.
how many started tonight?
I believe it was 130. We'll say 136. That's a guess. It's somewhere between 130.
So
and
many
140
monitors
though.
in here. I was thinking I might be able to spot one. Actually, there's one over there. Can you see it?
I do not have. my
135.
glasses on. There we go.
Thanks, Mike.
Alright.
Voice in my head.
So,
Mike,
so the whole
voice
room
in-
was full, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a hopping. I mean, I think that also counts re-entries
welcome.
as
Okay.
well. So
What do we have here?
Blind v blind. I believe SMDH raised, and we had obviously a defend from Richard. He can mix in some 3-bets here as well, but certainly flatting with ace-7 is perfectly fine as well. SMDH taking a check call line, I assume, which again, you want to mix this up. Taking a check call with king-9 is fine. Leading with king-9 is fine. Either way, they're going to get to the turn because Richard is not folding second pair on this board.
And I think I've seen Richard play before, right? Does he play in some of our cash games, JDR?
Richard.
Yeah.
He might. I mean, I don't recognize him.
Oh, maybe I just,
You know,
he's a familiar face looking to me.
I
don't
have
know.
seen him around.
Okay.
Wandering.
Wandering.
Lurking.
Lurking. That sounds like me.
That
I
sounds
lurk
like a
a lot.
shark.
This is a
Waiting
really
for its
interesting
next
bet
meal.
from Richard, because typically you would just check this back and try and show down. But I think that his thought is he can bet here, and I don't know if he's necessarily thinking. I think it was a value bet. My guess would be that he's value betting, and yeah, we see the check there, meaning that he was value betting, and I think it's perfectly fine to value bet that blind v blind. SMDH is going to still have to defend, worse 7s obviously, and some 3s and stuff, but unfortunately sometimes you do run into the 9. Obviously checking turn and then calling river is an acceptable line as well. Either way, he's probably losing 2 bets on that hand, and it's unfortunate.
Ooh, theater mode.
Yeah.
I just realized that we had that.
Oh,
Theater mode.
and then you got the dark.
Yeah.
Chat's in the dark. And
Chat, got some tips for you if you don't know it. There's theater mode option down below. Click that, and the experience will change just slightly.
It'll
Give
be
it a shot.
It will rock your world, chat.
How's our YouTube chat going? What's up, YouTube?
Current level 3 and 6K blinds. BB anti 6K. Yeah, hey YouTube.
What are you
What's
guys
up,
been up
YouTube?
to? What are you guys doing, YouTube? You guys partying or what? You guys playing some games? Playing some poker? Watching us on your mobile? What are you
Chris
doing? What are you
says
doing?
SMDH is Sean Drake.
Sean Drake. All right. It's
Sean
interesting
Drake.
because you can. I know this
The
because
man,
I
the
was
myth.
doing it
Yeah.
yesterday. You can put whatever you want on the thing.
Yeah.
I could have put
You
Captain
rigged it.
Poopy Pants if I wanted. Like I don't know if they would have allowed me to put Captain
I
Poopy
don't- I
Pants
don't
as my
know.
name, but it
Thank
would
God
have been an
you
option.
didn't try. Oh my. Living the dream in Santa Cruz.
I think they input it blindly, so I think it would have been good.
So if anyone in the chat knows any of the players, let us know who you're rooting for out there.
I feel like
Please.
coming in here that like the feeling is like you guys were here like for 3 hours before me. There's like a secret meeting.
There was a secret.
There was.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, there was.
man.
There
the
was.
read was right
Yep.
on.
You got to get to work early. I don't know what you're thinking.
Oh, okay. Thought it was.
There was a
Didn't know
secret
someone was
meeting.
trying to beat me to it.
We discussed
I'm kidding.
all sorts of high-level commentary. We actually read the new GTO commentary book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
How to Commentate on Stones Live by Mike.
By Mike.
By Mike.
By Mike. All right.
That's- yep, there
Mike.
you go.
Mike who?
The Mike.
The Mike.
The
Okay.
Mike. So this is actually interesting, right? Because we saw 3 Queen Jacks. Norman is the one that ends up getting to go heads up against the all-in player here, with now I believe just under 2 blinds.
I'm rooting for TGB. Oh wait.
Oh. I mean, I appreciate that you were rooting for me at some point, though.
Also,
appreciate that.
Untouchable says Lily didn't
I get
make
the
it.
joke.
Fell asleep.
Lily, no.
Ciao.
Lily, shout out to Lily. She'll watch this
The
at some
VOD,
point.
yeah.
She is a 4-year-old,
Aw.
and she watches my stream with her dad, and it is one of my favorite things.
This is a late stream.
It is extremely late. And we get the 10 on the river,
What?
though.
Yikes.
You
So we have
won.
the ace of diamonds on the river, and now we have the 10 on the
Wow.
river, and this goes from 1K to now 53K.
Now, this should put the whole table on tilt. I know it would put me on tilt.
Yikes.
A little bit, at least. That he didn't go out when he had a.
I mean,
you know,
now he has 9 blinds.
Yeah.
This is now a fighting.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean that.
I want that ladder. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yuan is the
Yeah.
man. Is that how we pronounce his name? Yuan?
I have
Yes, now we are.
Okay.
Is
all
it
right.
you one or just one?
I mean, are you confident in yours?
No.
Okay, we'll go with Yuan.
I am
You
not.
won? What
Yeah, you won.
You
All right.
won. All right.
We should ask him.
Respect. Yeah, I mean, respectively trying to pronounce your name correctly.
Yes.
Ultimate
Doing my
respect,
best.
since I'm completely naive. Thank you for
Yes.
educating us.
We're doing our
JDR.
best. We're doing
So
our
we have
best.
another dog here, huh? G Dog. Yesterday was what? J Dog, I think it was. Right?
I don't.
Do we get a
remember
dog?
any
Yeah, there was
specific
a
dogs. Were there
Yeah.
dogs on the table?
Wait, who
too?
was the dog yesterday?
I was
BotLady.
a major dog yesterday.
No,
but I
no,
pulled
their
out
name
third,
on there.
So, you know.
He was, yeah, major dog. There was not bad. Not bad.
We have a raise here from KD. Obviously needs to defend here for Davy Gravy, and he will make the defense in the big blind. And this is actually interesting. KD did make a 4x raise there from the hijack, so we'll have to see if that's his standard raise size or if he varies his raise size based on his hand strength. We'll have to just kind of see and watch and observe. Check, and if KD does fire a bet, Davy Gravy should actually probably defend this part of his range. He has 2 overs as well as a gut shot. He can play this both as a check raise or as a check call. But if he is worried about, getting into a confrontation, it's probably a little too tight of a fold, but it would be an option. He does call, which is certainly, I think, the best play for him there.
So JFK says Seat 8 has over 3 million in Hendon Mob cash.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Hand Mom cash. I didn't know it existed.
So who is our
What
player
can you
in Seat
buy?
8?
Ranks?
I think that's SMDH, maybe, is my guess. But I'm not sure about that. I'm just kind of, I can barely make out who is in Seat 8 from this angle right here.
Do you want me to go get the list again?
Man Illusion asks,
figure it
if
out.
you could play, or if you could party with any poker player for a night, who would it be? Golden Blazer right here. That's my answer.
Wow.
Hey, let's go.
Look at this. Look at this. I'm
You
making
gained
it
a
big
follower.
time now. All right, so Katie does double barrel this, and I think at this point it'd be smart for Davy Gravy to let it go. He could get creative and try like a check jam here, but yeah, I think that you try the float. Sometimes the float's going to work. He's going to check back the turn. You can lead river as a bluff, or obviously you have a queen or a 10 or a jack that are all very good cards for you. But KD does find a very good double barrel spot there and gets it through.
Norman, chip leader now, but who was the chip leader when we started the final table?
I believe it was Norman. He lost the 6-5 into kings.
So he maintained the chip lead, but not by much.
And then I think he also lost the king, jack, ace, jack, nines hand. He had the pair of nines. So there's been...
Is that the list of players in front of you?
She is writing it down. As we go.
Is that what we're doing?
Very intelligently.
Okay.
BotLady, top elite level commentator, writing it down.
I'm trying.
Big time.
Studious.
Katie in
The
seat
studious
7.
one.
Katie's seats. Did I mess this one up? Yeah, I did. I do it backwards.
KD. Okay.
I did it
All right.
backwards.
I know KT. KD plays like every tournament that I see at Stones, so this guy's got it down. If you guys have ever played with KD, you probably didn't talk to him because he doesn't say much.
Which seat is this here?
That's one.
One.
He's
okay.
focused.
That's Norman.
Norman. Yeah. Yeah, he started the night with 922.
And so he's going to flat his button here with ace jack. Davy Gravy is kind of in an awkward spot here because he's either going to have to play a hand that's not going to flop terribly well, out of position on at least 2 players, and if he calls, a lot of times the big blind is coming along. But this isn't really a hand that you want to 3-bet a lot, so it gets a little awkward for him here. And this is a very valid tank here. Like, raise, call, and fold all are probably pretty close, and he does let it go. All right. Ace 9 is going to have the initiative here, but does check to Norman, and Norman's going to check it back. I really like that check as well. I think that's a solid check. He has showdown value with the ace jack. Also 7-6-6 is not really a board that either of their ranges hit, so it's just like, we don't really have anything, and we'll have to see what Norman does here. He might not peel because of the club. I think if the turn is a non-club, I think his plan is to call turn and then get to river showdown pretty easily. But on the club, he might be like, I don't have a club in my hand. There's not really a lot of cards that are going to be good. If KD double barrels, whether it's a club or a non-club, I have to fold. So this is certainly a spot where, obviously it's fun for us because we get to say, okay, well, he has 92%. He's basically a lock to win the hand, but he actually is going to find a check or just a raise here. And this is just going to be a fold from KD.
It's his first sign of aggression. Towards
Norm
the
actually likes to play it pretty passively. I'm proud of him for making this bet here.
It's an impressive race.
I like
It's
it. I like
pretty
it.
creative because you figure, if he has the ace of clubs in his hand, it's like a very standard bluff line. But it is going
His
to work for
opponent
him.
just can't call with the board.
And there's the fold.
Yeah.
Safari Guy says, Katie is going to Brooklyn, end of an era. But then he says that Ghost says, beginning of an era for Brooklyn. Absolutely. Brooklyn's, he's really talented. I didn't know he was going to leave, but that's really awesome. I like that.
They were talking
He's
about
a
that at
regular
the table
here, too.
today.
What's that?
They were talking about that at the table today, like 2 minutes after Durant signed.
Oh, yeah.
Or it like got leaked that he signed. Somebody at
Yeah.
the table was like, Katie's going to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And half the table is like Kings fans like, yeah, screw the
let's go.
Warriors. And then, the other half is like, oh no, we're Golden State fans. So it's a lot of fun.
Nick in
41
C5,
mil.
right? Folds.
Jay's going to get rid of it.
Shenron, Phil Ivey style raise. I feel that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're lucky, man. You get the big monitor.
I know.
Okay,
well,
so-
it's because I can't see anything because I'm not
You
wearing
know
my
what's funny?
glasses, so.
Sean Drake there, I know who he is too. I've actually known him for years. He used to be a dealer down here in Folsom. And he came up pretty big, doing really well in his tournament career.
Yeah.
And it's good to see him here. I'd like to. This is my first time actually casting while he's on the table, so I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him because of that bandana. I think it's unusual. Like he doesn't normally do that, but looks good.
There
Can be
you go.
fitting. Rambo style. Looks like we have Ace King. G Dog's holding Ace King offsuit against Richard here, sitting on the big blind versus the hijack. Pre-flop. Looks like we're all in. G-Dog's all in, and we're waiting for a call.
Yeah, and it's an interesting spot here for Richard. Like, he's getting a decent price, but he's, like, probably not priced in with King Jack. Because this is, what, like a 13.5 blind effective shove. So, yeah, it's a really tricky spot for Richard here. He has to really think about, okay, how wide is G-Dog's range, actually? And certainly if G-Dog's range is, only like ace-jack plus, then it's a pretty easy fold. But obviously we only see these specific hands. So he does make the call, and Richard's going to need some help here to try and get the bust.
Yeah, this is a rough one for Richard, but I think he's pretty happy still making that decision before seeing the Ace King.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
And it looks
Well, of
like,
course.
man, I think, is this our now fourth all in that has now held?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Or is it
actually.
might even be
Let's
5.
See. Let's see what happens.
That is.
And there it is. There it is.
No one can get a ladder. We're just gonna we'll commentate till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and
no one will
honestly,
bust. We'll still be 9-handed.
That will make some people really frustrated.
Is
Yeah.
that? Is
Yeah,
that
I wasn't
something that you
expect.
think?
I wouldn't be expecting that. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
not be expecting 9-handed till 3 a.m. That would be rough, honey.
JD's like,
I'll be home.
"Ah."
I'll be home next week.
Oh,
These guys
man.
really want this.
Yeah. So what are our
Playing till
payouts
shove
again?
fest.
Let's put that up in chat.
Norman sitting at 772 at the top, 200K over the next leader, Richard 5332, and SMDH.
Yes,
What is that? Who was
that's
it? Do we
Sean
know?
Drake.
Oh, that is him. Oh,
Yes.
Sean.
I
What does
believe
that stand
that was
for?
what-
3 million in Hendon Mob winnings.
No idea. That's
Oh, yeah.
Just what Ghost of M said.
Yeah, yeah. I think he
Also,
he took third in a big one. I think for a pretty good one here in Vegas a couple years ago too. Yeah, that's
I mean,
really great.
also shout
30
out to
million,
Ghost of
that's
M.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
dude is doing work in both of the chats, man.
Mm.
Every time I go to a Twitch chat and I see Ghost of M, I just immediately that Twitch channel gets 5 times more respect. I know Ghost of M does an incredible job. He was actually here the first
Yeah.
time I ever watched
I
Stones
like to meet
Live.
Ghost.
Ghost of M came in the booth for commentary.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I of course had no idea who he was, and so I was actually I was trolling him a little bit. I don't even know who Ghost of M is. Who are you, Ghost of
I'd
M?
What?
really
How
like
do
to
you
know
It's
not
a true
know?
story. I was new to Twitch at
Please
the time.
okay,
I was
okay.
pretty new to Twitch.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh,
Are you going on an airplane?
yeah, he's leaving.
Okay.
Leaving
All right.
on a jet plane.
There
Who
you
is
go.
Ghost of M? He's in the chat. I think he's a commentator, right? What we're saying?
Ghost of M is just he's the Twitch go-to. I
Mod?
actually don't know specifically. I just he's a big deal on Twitch. Everyone, if you
He's the head poker mod for the Twitch community.
I would agree with that,
Well,
yeah.
there we go.
Especially the U.S. side. I mean, obviously you have I don't know if I don't know like if Ghost of M does stuff for like Lex or Spraggy or the Europe guys, but I see him all the time on
Love it.
on the American streams.
Not only
Vanessa
did I
Cade,
hear
think,
about
as well.
KY Wildcat, I saw before I was trying to spin into that 1K buy-in tournament, and I saw him on the list, and I sent him a message. I go, "Did you spin into this?" He goes, "No, I just got a hair up my butt." And when I left before I was coming here, he was 3-handed on the final table. Top prize was 45K. Let us know. Did he win? I am dying to know. Please let me know. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I sent him all my luck. I go, before I left, I go, you need to win this thing, man.
There you go.
Looks
So
like
we have-
Joe's
this is,
and Richard are on the board here with the
This-
flop
He
really
won?
producing. Oh, wow. There
He
we go.
won.
There you go.
The 1K buy-in on ACR. He won.
There you go.
Congratulations. That's
Big
freaking
time.
incredible, KY. Hell yeah. I gave him a little piece of advice. I said, let the chips come to you. I hope that helped.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like sometimes
If it
you
were
you
that
try
easy.
too hard, it just you mess yourself up,
Yeah.
Let other people make mistakes and
Yeah, for sure.
just soak them up.
Richard with a huge hand there. It was I
I
believe it was
don't
an
know.
under the gun raise.
That's
He
incredible.
flatted. I believe it
Wow.
was C-bet from Joe, and then Richard raised over the top. And we've seen a lot of really good aggression from the players. They are not gonna play this passively, which is exciting to watch. It makes it a lot more fun when we're seeing some raises and people are doing some creative things.
So our
it's always-
payouts
it's always great
tonight-
to see people experimenting, right?
Absolutely.
First is $9,755. Second is $6,200. Third is $48. I'm rounding here. Fourth is $33.48. Fifth is $2,700. Sixth is $2,300. Seventh is $1,883. Eighth is $1,423. Ninth is a little over $1,000. And everyone who placed 10th through 20th made $753 tonight in our tournament. That's what our players are playing for.
Big time. 8K plus up top. Should be an exciting night. All right, so Norman's going to raise the force. Under the gun plus 3. And probably going to be a shoverino from Nick D, but it is a fairly early open, so he could definitely shove or fold this. It looks like he's going to go for a flat, which will be interesting here. He's 12 blinds effective, so that's about a quarter of his stack now in. Joe's coming over the top with ace-king, and so Norman is now going to be in the tank for sure. He does actually let go of the force pretty quickly. And now it's an awkward spot for Nick, and he lets it go. So Nick now has chipped down to 54K, so that could get dicey.
How's Nick doing in this? Has he been playing a lot? Have we seen any stats come on the board?
I believe that
Okay,
was the
Russian.
first hand we've seen him
First
play,
hand? Okay.
but I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
He is
100%
sitting
sure
on
about
a slightly smaller stack, so
Yeah.
that's probably why we haven't seen too much play from him recently.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the spot where you really just have to kind of commit yourself and hope for the best. And apparently the all-ins are running really hot. So
Yeah, boy.
it's a good time to get your money all in right now.
Absolutely. I like it. Looks like Sean Drake's trying to get into it.
You know, the ICM you're talking about, everyone that's on everyone's mind big time right now.
Yeah,
Those
for
ladders.
sure. And so, I mean, that's a spot where, like, he probably thinks, okay, I can probably knit and bust eighth and get that $200. Oh, no, it's a $400 ladder there. So, I mean, yeah, that's an entire buy-in there. Davey Gravy with kings here.
Waking
Gonna
up with
raise
the
it up.
Cowboys.
And there he will put in the raise to 25K. And now it's always, anytime you get kings raises or anything, it's like, who's gonna wake up behind me? Like, somebody wake up behind me and let's get to tangling.
You know, in that position, I actually don't mind that. You got to raise those kings, especially with this group of guys here. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
You got to get these guys out.
Seat 8
'cause
is SMDH over 3 million in Hendemom winnings.
That is incredible. That is big time. We have an
KD
AC on
picking
the
up
flop.
threes, looking to set mine, and it looks like he didn't hit anything. So this might not go too far.
Yeah, and the ace on the flop here, it'll be interesting. Davey Gravy has two options here. He can bet nearly his entire range at about the third pot, make it like 25K. Looks like he's actually going to go a little more than that. Obviously, this board just hits his range way harder than the big blind range. And, yeah, we expect KD to just get rid of it. His threes are just like, you might look at that and be like, okay, what if he has king jack? Or what if he has king 10? Or what if he has, a bunch of hands? But, if you flat the threes there and then you face a second barrel, you're going to be in a bad spot. So, he's just flatting.
It's not
looking
an easy
set
pot to
nine,
take
and
away
he
there.
just gets
Yeah,
rid of it.
totally.
Yeah.
All right. So this is actually interesting because we do see, you know, we have a table situation here where we have two very large stacks, about
KK pre.
two other middling stacks, and then everyone else is like, you know, around 20 effective. So it provides a very interesting spot for a lot of awkward ICM situations.
For the middle stacks especially.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because the small stacks have an easy choice. You know, am I going all in? The big stacks are, you know, not in danger. The middle stacks are kind of threatened here by the small stack. You know, if I raise, am I just going to get jammed over?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We will see how this runs out. We do have an all-in.
Ooh.
And
You won.
is it going to get through is the question. Oh. It does get through. Look at this. 1K to now. It looks like 58K.
58, yep.
Look at this.
Blinds
It's
are
been
4 and
the
8.
plan all
I'm
along.
hoping for the comeback.
Wow.
Yeah,
If he wins this is going to go down in Twitch history
Well,
The
definitely have to clip
underdog story.
as like the greatest Twitch run up in history. 1/6 of a big blind. Chat, you'll have to let me know.
Let's do it. Pog, let's get it.
Has anyone done less than 1/6 of a big blind at a streamed final table? I'd be pretty impressed.
There was one. It was,
Really?
yeah. It was at another casino down the street from us. He was, man, who was it? I'm going to have to look up the name and let you guys know. But a lot of you guys at locals will know about it. He had, I think he had less than the small blind. Oh, it was an Annie. It was a 1 Annie.
Oh, my.
And he chipped it up to cash. I think it was he was top 10. So it worked out well. See if I can find that information for you guys.
Yeah.
Jacks.
Yep, waking up with the jacks. Here we go. And when you get them on the button too, especially with the two big stacks. Now this
Katie
is a
waking
spot
up with the
where
hooks.
Richard is gonna come after this sometimes, and you are just gonna have to like. Richard can do a lot of things. He interestingly just folds it. I wonder if he might have had a thought of something going on, because that's a hand that he's gonna defend a lot, but he does just let it go.
See, I was wondering. You're ahead of me.
Oh,
Like 5 seconds. I was like, "What is he talking
Yeah, we should
about?"
just all watch
this.
the-
This is not fair. If you
All watch
if
the
you
big
can see the
screen.
future, then I'm like, "What am I doing, man?" It's like, man, this is good.
Yeah. If
Good. So how did he know?
This is.
It was like
this
he called
is,
his hand.
You got to.
Wait
really
a second.
you
We're
gotta
gonna have to
really
go
be
back to
dialed in.
yesterday's tape. I don't know.
Yeah. How do you
Let's check this? Let's
how
check
do you-
this blazer.
How do you think I was making all those reads?
know.
How do you think I was
The
laying
golden
down
blazer.
those hands? I had the blazer tuned to the IFD. Is it RF? Whatever the there's an
RFID.
acronym, RFID.
And that
of
blazer
the
is more
cards,
unique
it
than
would,
we
you know,
thought.
Yeah, like if somebody had aces, it would just like vibrate or something and be like, TGB, they have aces,
Exactly.
look out. And, you know.
Squan 4, go Davy Gravy is a fan.
There we
All
go.
right, we got some fans. Do we know who's rooting for who in chat? Let's go. Hey guys in chat, let's see who you guys are rooting for on this table, on this final table.
Yes, I want to know.
Let's see some names. If you don't know the name, put the seat down.
Yes.
There's the names right there.
There you go.
There you go, yeah.
Perfect graphing time.
Is it?
Yuan is now
Well,
in
I mean, you just gotta guess
8th
who's
position.
in what seat.
No longer in last.
Rooting for Davy Gravy.
There we go. I'm
Drew Barry.
genuinely rooting for the 1K chip, because it was just one chip to come all the way back.
It was.
win
It
the-
was
and win the entire thing.
one single chip, 1K value.
It'd be fun. All right. We rejoin the action here. Folding to the button. I presume Richard will raise this up. And it looks like he is reaching for some chips. And that looks like a very large raise.
I think the starting chip stack today was started at, what was it, 20,000? Do we know?
Yes, it was 20,000.
20,000?
Yep.
Okay.
Because I chipped up to 50K at one point, and I was like, oh, I'm guaranteed final table at this point. And
Right.
then, you know,
Yeah, that would have been actually
20,000.
I wasn't.
a stack here.
So
you could have
essentially
maintained
a
it.
deep
Yeah,
stack,
yeah,
a
yeah,
nice stack to start off with. Absolutely.
Davy Gravy,
Love starting
three
with
betting
more
his
than
kings. His
10K.
second pair of kings, like this orbit, and he makes it. So we got to remember, Richard raised at 40K. So this is actually a fairly small 3-bet. The problem is with Davy Gravy not really having much behind, Richard doesn't really have a lot of room to operate. And so what he has to kind of figure out is, okay, first of all, how light is this 3-bet? Is Davy Gravy, 3-betting me here with a bunch of stuff because he thinks that I'm raising the button loose, which is fair because Richard certainly could be raising the button loose. And it looks like he is just going to let it go. And so he's going to dodge possibly some trouble there going against the kings.
So pretty looking down at suited connectors, isn't it?
It is.
It's like, I'm so curious. I got to feed this curiosity.
I like it against more than one opponent.
I don't fold.
No, yeah, for sure.
Early in a tournament.
I think that's why I like to play cash games so much more. It's kind of my choice, is because I can play more hands and not risk my life on the table. So
I love that pressure, like putting that max. Risking it is like that adrenaline rush you get. I don't get that anywhere else.
I was talking about that earlier with some guys about how like the final table, some people really love that final table pressure.
Yeah.
And if you're not the type of person that loves the final table pressure, I gotta swallow the mic. Swallow the mic, TGB.
I was just like, I saw her like babying you, so I was like, all right, let's make sure we're just comfortable.
No, I appreciate it.
I just want to make sure everyone can hear this because I'm interested in what you're gonna say here.
If you're not the type of person that does well under pressure or like thrives in that situation, you're gonna end up making mistakes because you're gonna end up playing a little too tight.
Yeah.
And we've seen, some really great plays from some players who, are check raising and doing all sorts of fun stuff, because they're not scared of risking their tournament life. And that's just the way you have to play at a final table. Otherwise, you're just gonna be hanging on.
Yeah, and we see Jack's KD against Davy Gravy's 8-5 of club here.
Yep. So it's an interesting flat here from Davy Gravy. It's probably a hair wide, but he's probably thinking, he might have some post-flop advantage. He might be able to get creative on some boards. This should... Ooh, and he's going to lead this board too. So this is just a stone bluff if he does lead. I have to imagine KD is certainly going to float here with the jacks. And he is near snap calling, it looks like. And he does float the lead by Davy Gravy. So now, and the 5 will be interesting. So Davy Gravy could certainly continue now because he has picked up some equity to hit 2 pair. But he does check, and that's probably the best play. At this point, KD's going to know his jacks are good the vast majority of the time. So he'll probably go for some thin value, and it's going to be an interesting spot to see what Davy Gravy does. Because with the 5 with showdown value, certainly KD could float flop with, some just ace high with a diamond and all sorts of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what Davy Gravy decides to do with his 5. This is and you can tell this is a tough decision.
This is a small bet into a large pot.
Yeah, it's 1/5.
It was like one. Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Poker News is asking, hey BotLady, any upcoming tournaments planned to play?
I play tournaments every Tuesday and Friday night on my stream live. I have a Step 5 Venom ticket I won, and I'm trying to roll it up all the way into a main ticket.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very good.
That I think it's 5K guarantee. Is that correct?
5 million.
5. Oh,
1 million. 1
it is
million.
not a 5K guarantee.
1 million for first. It's like a Guinness Book of World Record breaking tournament because it's an online free roll with the biggest guarantee ever for an online free roll. So
there you go.
Yep.
And David Gravy pays it off, and to some extent he kind of has to with the price he's getting. He only needs to be right 20% of the time. So if there's any bluffs there, which I think any ace high diamonds might fire that spot.
Exactly. Yep.
As long as there's enough of those that he thinks that are going to show up, sometimes he has to make the call, and he does. And unfortunately, JD
nice work
flips over the jacks.
Squad, watching BotLady has given me luck the last 2 weeks. So guys, take that for what it is. She's lucky. You gotta watch.
There you go.
It's real.
Is it true that you run better than everyone else?
Yes.
Is it true?
I have the math to prove it.
She says, snap, yes. There was no oh, well, it was snap. Yes,
Are
I
the
do.
Stories
that is
true?
exactly what happens.
I have
better.
the statistics to prove it.
We gotta know.
My PT4 stats say I'm way luckier than I'm
Miss
supposed
Run
to
Gun?
be. That's the truth. Yeah.
This is a true story. So when I started playing, I was playing online and I was tracking my stuff in PT4.
Yeah.
And I was playing jackpot sit and goes.
Oh, I play
If you
those
ever
too.
play the jackpot,
yes.
they're the highest variance form of poker. It's 3-handed. It's super short. You're just
I love it.
Ooh,
it's super high. So what ended up happening is I ran so good in my first, like, I don't know, maybe 200, 300 games. My winnings were so much higher than the like chip EV line that I thought that it was like broken.
Yeah.
I was like,
what
oh,
percentage
like
were you
this,
winning?
This
I had
yellow
a
line.
60% win rate on those.
I don't remember
you didn't track
specifically.
It? Okay,
I don't remember what the winning percentage was.
Okay.
I just remember like thinking like, oh, like there must be some error in Poker Tracker that's saying that like clearly I'm running like I might be running good, but I'm not running that good. And then of course variance happens and you crash, and then you're like, oh, I guess I was just running good. So it's fine.
I love those jackpots because you get that three-handed experience, and when you do get to that final table, then you're now like professional. You've polished your skills.
Squan says jackpots are awful, LOL. But Lucifer is playing a jackpot SNG right now.
Right now.
Nice.
That's what you do. You watch
That's
Stones
what I'm
live,
talking about.
and you play jackpots simultaneously.
Hey.
I like the strategy, Lucifer.
I love
like
them
it.
because
Pop for
you
you,
have the
brother.
chance
Good
to actually hit a big prize.
It's true.
With it. $2 into what
There you
Have
go.
you talked about the payouts yet? Let's
Yes.
talk about
We
it, yeah?
have exclamation point payouts, I believe.
Here we go.
Oh, there
First
you go.
place is
Look
going to
at
get close to
Shenron
10
helping out.
grand.
Thank
I
you,
like
Shenron.
it.
Shenron.
Hey, Shenron's the man.
He's one of the top 3 mods on my channel.
Is he
He's
really?
one of the. I would put him in the top 3.
Ooh, pocket
of the
sixes
mods.
went in the muck there.
You must have 3.
Real snap-fold pocket sixes.
Interesting. All right, we have another all-in situation. Ace 10 versus the King 10. We are. I wish I knew if it was 4 for 4 or 5 for 5. It wasn't something I was tracking, but it certainly looks like the all-in might survive again. But we'll have to see how the board runs out. Deuce 3-8 so far, a clean run out here for Nick. 7 is a blank on the turn, and KD is drawing to 3 outs, and it is blank.
That's
so
right.
there you go. I think we'll say we're 5 for 5. The all in
Aces
surviving.
Could I get
aces
either of you a
are
drink?
Holding up too, or
I'm good with the water.
ace high is
Thank you,
holding
Bob.
up.
Yeah,
Would you
I
like a
appreciate
drink over there, JDR?
Oh, I've got one right here.
I'm gonna go get myself another drink, guys. I'll be
Alright.
right back.
Yeah,
Hold it
Sounds
down.
good. Sounds good.
Don't miss me too much.
We're gonna do some
chat.
bars.
We'll try not to. We might have a secret meeting though.
Yeah, it's not secret
So-
if it's announced.
Put my mic in your armpit. We're good.
Okay.
Incoming mic into the armpit.
Is that a thing?
We
is
wouldn't
that
have
is that a
done it.
thing that has happened on
Can
Stone Live?
be.
It was such a random comment, right? Like
Yeah.
that didn't cross
Don't-
my mind
Don't
to
put
do.
my sandwich in your bag over there, okay? I wasn't thinking about it, but what
I
kind of
mean,
sandwich? Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm gonna tell BotLady that I put my armpit on her mic, just to let you know.
Okay.
You may play along with that.
She'll
as you
look at me
might.
and I'll go, all right, we're looking at a 6'4" clubs.
There you go. Just get back to the action. So, how long have you been doing the Stones thing? How long have you been in the Sacramento area? What's going on there?
Oh, a little bit about me.
Yeah,
I love it,
I
man.
gotta ask.
like
I gotta
it, of
ask. You guys were
course.
quizzing
know
me
what?
last night.
Hey, you know what? Last night I was great actually meeting. I'm gonna call you Jacket or Blazer. Or what do you want me to
Blazer.
call
Golden Blazer. People, honestly, people call me. People call me
I almost
TGB.
want to say Jacket like right off the bat because it's like that should be like our inside name. No,
Yeah.
it's okay.
You can just call me TGB. Everyone
Hi.
in Twitch calls me
It
TGB.
keeps it makes me think of KGB from Rounders.
Also fine.
Hey, TGB.
Also fine.
Have you played with TGB? Yeah, he'll
I-
take it for all
3
you
here
got.
to King
I
5.
also run an underground Russian.
And the 5
club.
comes.
Bleep, bleep,
You
bleep.
won.
Oh, see, there you go. I told
Here we
you.
go.
We'll call it.
Boom.
90% He just has to dodge the ace ball.
Here we go.
No,
And he
ball.
gets no.
Oh,
what?
he counterfeited. Oh, I
my
didn't see it.
gosh.
I didn't see the
no,
counterfeit.
The whole table excited about this
ace high.
happening.
Man.
Dude,
He
the
played
ace
great.
highs have been coming in. The last one was ace high.
Congratulations, though.
You got
He
an ace in your
definitely
hand.
played great. Came back from less than 1 blind. Ended up cashing for $1,046.
There you go. Not a bad score. Not a
Nice.
bad score.
All right, so to answer your question, Blazer, TGB.
Yes,
that
that
is
is
my
me.
name is JDR. If you guys haven't met me before, thanks for coming by. You guys are gonna see me here more often. I do run a Twitch channel myself. I've thrown some poker games in there,
Okay.
playing some online on there, but
Nice.
mostly it's some online competitive shooter games. So that's me right there. But I love to play poker. I've actually played here since like maybe I think the very first year, and
Okay.
I've been sticking to this place. It's been growing so much. This place at this booth that we're in right now wasn't. Well, I don't even know. It was like, hey, like they were using tissue paper, I think. I mean, and these mics, oh man, I think we were like, what were we using? I think we were talking right into the laptop. No, I'm just kidding.
You were using the
we were using
dial,
the cups. The cups. It was like, hello.
the rotary phone. You gotta
exactly,
doing the Twitch channel that way. Also, RGV binked the 750 PLO.
Yeah.
Guarantee it sounds like.
Yeah.
So congrats to him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any other
Congrats.
scores? Let us know in chat as well.
Huge
always,
congrats again to KY.
Always fun. Yeah, that too. Yeah, for
I
sure.
told him I made an emote just for
news.
him.
There you go.
It's kind of a joke, but
I always love hearing about scores and people running deep in things and getting to sweat, and that's always a lot of fun. So if you're still deep in anything, let us know, and we're always happy to sweat
cheer
you guys
you
in chat.
on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we have, it looks like it was a raise from SMDH, and KD defended the big blind with the pocket fours. That was a under the gun open, so that's interesting from SMDH. KD, it looks like, is going to come in for a raise, which is probably not going to work super well here.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
He gets away from it. That is interesting to say the least.
What?
I'm trying to think.
Like,
I don't think there's any explanation in the card reader was wrong.
That is always correct. That is actually, it was actually very funny, and I shouldn't have said anything, because last night, my very first post flop hand, I got dealt pocket tens in the big blind, and check raised when I hit a set on the flop against under the gun, and he promptly folded. And then when it came on stream, it showed that I had 10-8, and I was like, no, for sure I had a set of tens. But if the other people at the table were the type of people that thought that I might check raise 10-8 offsuit in that spot, probably would have been better for
It'll
my
help
image.
your image, yeah.
So, but it all works out. But it was funny, because then I was like, well, maybe I misread one of my cards, and maybe I actually did have 10-8.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know. I
reader
glanced
knows
and I don't know. I hope it was pocket tens. I hope that I wasn't making a terrible play, but I guess it worked out regardless.
And we got a stack moving in here.
Yeah, it looks like Nick D is going to be all in here with ace queen. It is a spot that Richard is probably going to call
He's
off.
going to be a huge, well, not a huge, but at least a dog here.
Yeah.
31% if he does it.
I mean, he only needs 34% here. If we ignore ICM's probably going to raise it to like 38 or so.
He's tight. I predict him to fold from his
Interesting.
previous plays.
What do you got? Fold or call?
70 to call. What's his chip stack?
528.
Oh man.
He's tight. He doesn't like to
Yeah,
risk it pre-flop. That's how he got to the table, the final table here.
I don't know. I'd probably peel off one for him.
I like that he's not snapping it.
I mean, a lot of you never know. Some of these all-ins, these shorter stacks, you never know what they're holding.
Nick isn't
But
that short.
If they have a history in this tournament where they've played against each other, that will definitely play a part.
That's true too.
So
he is deep in the tank here.
So our decision to call might be different than
He's
what
at least a
through right
thinking
now.
player, He's
absolutely.
Yeah.
He might be thinking of dinner. You never know.
He's gonna let it go, and he's gonna save
Wow,
himself some chips there.
I'm like impressed right now. Wow.
12 blind effective shove. Got it through.
Yeah.
Got it through.
If he's thinking I don't want to flip for any of my chips.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting spot.
Yeah.
You guys ever get into a game where there's someone at the table that often shows their hand, but not to you or anyone on your side of the table, but just to their neighbors? How many of those do you guys let those slide before you're like, hey, hold on a second. What do you have there, buddy? Have you guys run into those situations in your poker career where you're just kind of like, you know what? So this guy's not doing something I like, and you speak out? Or do you guys like to just kind of like stay just incognito, just chilling, not cause a ruckus?
I want to win every pot, and I want everyone to be afraid of me, and I will go heads up against anyone who takes me on.
We are all afraid of you, BotLady.
Great,
So
good,
you got
should
the
be.
proper.
So does
You have the
that
proper
translate
image.
to you will say something, BotLady, or what?
What do you mean?
Will you say something if you see someone at the table showing their hand to someone frequently?
Well, I mean, you're supposed to show everyone, right? If they do that.
Right. So
Yeah.
would you speak up is the question.
I always speak up.
There you go.
She's BotLady. She doesn't mess around.
Yeah.
Richard waking up with the aces here. Nick D is going to flat with
Yeah.
queen 10, and so we'll have to see how this flop comes. Looks like
I
it's
just
going to
keep
be
it
I like that,
a
Brian.
c-bet fold
If it's bothering you, it's
situation,
bothering others.
but you never know.
He did wake up with aces. Holy
He
moly.
did.
I'm
Yeah,
a rule
this
follower,
is
you guys. You know?
Likely going to be a
This
bet
reminds me
fold.
of yesterday.
I can't imagine Nick D's going to do
How
anything
many aces
crazy.
have we seen tonight? Is this the first pair of aces?
So true story, JD.
Okay.
You'll recall last
Uh-huh.
night I came on stream and I said that I had played at Stones for like, I don't know, 20 hours at that point, and I
okay.
had not gotten dealt a pair of pocket aces.
Oh, I remember.
And I
it
played
continues.
for 6 hours in this tournament today.
Oh.
I got dealt exactly 0 pairs of pocket
man.
aces.
0 pairs is not a good.
No
so,
pairs at all?
No
The count
pocket aces.
Okay.
is
I got,
0.
I got pairs and stuff.
Mm.
So
Well, you're not
I'm
picking up your cards right.
thinking- Is that what it is?
You got
is
to
there
peek
a
at
secret
one.
way?
Yeah, you
okay.
got to peek at one.
Peek at one.
Yeah, and then flip it around. Then look at the other one.
Flip it.
Yeah, they
Oh,
taught me
like
that
let,
at the.
let them know. Let everyone
yeah.
know that I have an ace.
It's a baccarat secret.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, it works.
The more you know.
Translates to good news here
Right.
at Poker Table.
That's I practice.
JK,
I
don't do
practice winning flips all the time.
Oh, you
So,
practice?
Yeah, I deal
Man.
myself pocket
How
sevens.
long are those sessions?
I do the other person like ace king, and then I like put the 7 like the third card, and then I deal it out, and I'm like, oh look at that, I won the
There
flip.
you go.
You know, so as long as you're practicing those spots, I think you're gonna run pretty well. Like that must you run you know self-described luck box BotLady, so you must
Box
have some
filled
secrets
with
that you
luck,
do there.
overflowing.
I'm like it's a mental game, so it's like I feel like it's Frogger, you know, like you're running in traffic and you just have to decide like is this the hand or not? And, you know, you just go
I've
with
never-
that.
wow.
Like, I mean, it's like, yeah.
Could be an interesting spot here. G-Dog is all in to call with the 9s. He raised Norman Jamarino'd from the big blind, and G-Dog now in the tank. This is one of those spots, I mean, like, you know, it's easy for us to say, okay, you know, pocket 9s, you probably have to call here, but then it's quite another spot when, you know, there's some pay jumps that can happen, and there's some stuff that can go on, and so you have to kind of be in the tank. I would say G-Dog's probably going to find a call, but you never know what can happen.
So Man Illusion says if you could create one law that everyone had to follow, what would you make?
Ooh.
Chad, I'm loving you guys today.
JD, what do you got for me?
comments are-
What do you got
One
for
law?
me? One law.
One like one poker law? Can we?
I think it's anything.
Yeah.
I hope it's any. We're gonna make it, regardless
A
of what was
poker
intended.
rule?
We're gonna say anything in the world. We'll do both. Let's do both.
Oh
Poker
my
rule
goodness.
and a general world existing rule.
Yeah.
Okay, is it on me first?
I-
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
You
It is on
volunteered.
you
one
first.
law, one law, and everyone must follow. It must be maybe like a law like gravity, where it's gonna happen regardless. Man, that'd be great, huh?
Appreciate it.
How
Yes.
about
What?
like?
Yeah, we're good. Thank
Oh
you.
man, honestly, I probably have to think about this because I treasure my answers.
Okay.
Great service
So
here at
pass
Stone.
is your
pass
answer
for
right now? Okay.
Pass, yeah.
BotLady.
Oh, she asked the question. She better have an answer right away. Clutch. Yeah.
I
like
moved.
it.
I moved it so
Man,
she
you are
like.
suave.
You know, I
For
have
me,
maximum
Suave.
time to
I feel
answer
like
here.
there's too much
Man.
inequality
G-Dog
in wealth.
lets it
I
go.
saw
Norman
that.
picks it
Didn't
up.
Call it
So
out.
I would make a banking law that made all really, really wealthy people have to just redistribute their wealth to everybody else.
Okay. There you go.
That's it.
All right.
But,
Poker law?
Is
Is there a poker law as well?
I don't know. That was just my answer.
Oh.
So you all get different answers, I guess. You know?
I'll have to come up with something because the entire time I was not really thinking of my own answer.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is the
see?
foolish way to do that. If I press the question, everyone else to not take the time to think about my answer. So we're gonna go off the top of my head. Poker law number 1.
He
well,
used that
the,
time to think of
the
an
poker
answer,
law.
by the way.
No chops.
Oh my
No
god, that was
chops.
literally what I was gonna
You
say.
can no
so I get a
longer
time
chop.
extension.
Yeah, I'll give you here. Take some time bank chips. Take some time bank chips. There you
Scoring
go.
all
Yep.
of 'em in
We'll
right
hit
now.
the shot clock in a second. No
No
chops.
chop odds? Oh,
No,
so,
no, no, no,
So
no,
here's the
no,
next
no, no, hang
question.
on, no,
what
no.
do you do?
No, you misunderstand.
Is it like war?
No,
Another card?
No, you misunderstand me. You misunderstand me, JD. I mean, you cannot chop the prize pool.
Oh.
Yeah, so chop pots still exist. Whatever, that's fine.
Okay.
But if we are at the final table and
Yeah.
you say, "Would you like to make a deal?" There are no more deals. There, that no longer exists in the poker universe.
In fact, everyone has to laugh at that person that asks.
Yep.
That's my rule. On top, that's my that's my piggyback rule.
There you
on
go.
his rule.
That person then gets
yeah,
laughed at.
I think mine's pretty fun.
Okay.
I think,
Yeah.
but if everyone's expecting you to laugh, it doesn't hurt. as much.
Because here's the thing. If you could not chop at a final table, then, like, talk about that final table pressure that we were talking about. That now gets amplified up. Like, you're playing for big money, and you got to be able to handle the pressure of it. And, like, that's the most fun part of a poker tournament. I play the poker tournaments to, like, sweat, to get that final table sweat and to get everybody excited. And I feel like chopping just, like, takes it right out of there.
It looks like we're building up a pod here.
You see it a lot less online.
Looks like Sean Drake is 3-betting 70K. We get a call from Joe
unless you're friends
here.
with the person
Joe hits 2 pair on the flop.
He does.
Sean Drake's liking his ace. Let's see what happens though.
Yeah, this is gonna be dicey for Sean Drake here because he's the 3-better, so he's probably gonna feel pretty good. I mean,
he's liking his position too.
He can definitely check call here sometimes. That's certainly an option to check call. Or I guess he would just check behind. I didn't realize he was in position.
SMDH got away from top pair before. Let's see
He
if he
did?
can do it again, eh?
He did. So it'll be interesting to see. I think both betting or checking are perfectly fine here. If he does bet, it should be something like 50K would be my guess.
Yeah, I see
but
him
he does
checking
just
back.
check.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine. He's got to feel like his ace is going to be good a lot of the time. And the king is going to kill a lot of the action. Sean might even find a fold on this bet just because, like, at this point, Joe flats your 3-bet. What in the world do you even beat?
Exactly.
Like,
this board is terrible.
I'm legitimately trying to think of a hand, and like maybe pocket 9s he could bluff, and we block the 9s. So like we're just like really toast here with our ace 9, and that's fine, and we let it go.
Yeah.
BotLady, I believe you still haven't given us a poker law.
Oh no, I gave you a law.
You did?
Yeah, it wasn't a poker law.
Oh, I thought we were not doing one of each.
Global doesn't allow. I just try to read a comment.
Go for it. Yeah, no. JD, smart move.
Right, exactly.
Anytime we're interacting with chat, that's always GTO, I think.
Exactly.
Twitch
yeah.
GTO is interacting with chat.
By the way,
100%.
chat, I don't know if you knew this, but you are the meta.
Bam.
That's all point at.
They
There you go.
definitely
Point
know
was the meta.
everything. Y'all
You
are the best.
There you go. They are the meta.
They don't let us miss a thing, and I love that about you guys.
They are the metaists.
Meaning, if they're not there, then this is all sucky.
Meaning, if I miss something, they're gonna tell me, and we're gonna all know, and then we have all the information.
Nick D sitting with 114,000. Who's their top, and what's the number there? Is it still Norman?
So Richard and Norman have the two top stacks. I don't know. I guess we'll find out right now that Norman is about
standing at
200K more than him.
Exactly.
So that's gonna.
So
be
I do like the approach
chunk.
that Norman's taking on here is really just kind of tighten up his range. We have a full table, so I like that tactic right there.
Nick jamming in the ace queen. This is another. I mean, Richard's been putting himself in these interesting spots. I expect KD to fold pretty quickly. He's literally already got the cards ready to fold. And Richard is now going to be in an interesting spot. And he just snaps it, interestingly, and flips over the ace 10. It's really interesting because we were going to call him tank folding.
Yeah.
But I believe this time he 3-bet, so it's a little bit of a different pot odd situation.
He had probably made up his mind on that ace 10.
We like it.
So
a lot of aces going heads up.
Yeah.
We're seeing that.
Definitely.
Let's see if it goes the other way, though. We haven't seen it go the other way, though.
Yeah, we haven't really seen any suckouts.
Let's see it.
I was waiting for that jack to
Yeah,
pop
I
up
was
for
like,
the
where's
suck
the
out.
jack? Well, there's still a chance here. We got 2 cards to come, everybody.
We sure do.
Here's that chop out we're talking about, right? Soon, runner. Let's see it.
I don't.
No.
Oh. That does stuff.
That does near nothing, but
Yes.
the king does now come into play.
Exactly.
For the chop, actually.
The chop, yeah.
But it's gonna be a hole for the ace king or the ace queen.
Law's gone.
There you go.
Law's in
Didn't
motion.
I'm trying to think of a real world law that I could come up with to change or make.
Okay, so we want a
everyone
law
abide by.
that's in place that we want to change.
No, I think
Or do we
it's
just want
more
to
like
create a brand new law?
I think it's more like almost like a supernatural law, in my opinion. Like, I don't really think that needs to be like passed through the legislature. Like, that's boring and uncreative. Like, I think it's not. Like, you can do it or you
It
want,
can be
but
creative.
like, I mean,
It'll get denied if it's creative. Probably.
like, oh, here we go, new law. Everyone is required to run 2 miles every day.
Oh, I like it.
Now
That will
everyone
solve
is
a lot
staying
of
in shape,
issues.
and I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
how that gets
Are
implemented.
you
What that means
providing
is-
sports bras for all the women?
Yes,
Okay, good.
that's part of that law. The universe is actually just naturally dumping them into existence because obviously that's not a real law. See, I'm not thinking of this as like a legal thing. I'm thinking of this as like your body now, like
Oh
like
my
just like
goodness.
gravity or just like anything else, like that just automatically happens now.
So if you walk, you just get what? What happens if you don't run? You walk. You're just
That's
getting
fine.
punished? No,
No,
okay.
it's fine.
It's fine. Okay. I can walk the 2 miles instead.
There you go.
Okay, we're good with that.
Easy game.
Ace King here for Richard, and if he plays Ace 10 like he plays Ace King, we're
Yes,
getting to
French.
see some action going in.
And so this is going to be really interesting,
Squan,
right?
you can get on a
Because
bike.
It's the 2 big stacks,
Or
isn't
skates.
it?
if you
yeah,
like.
and so it's interesting that Norman is just going
Ooh,
to flat.
Nick's got a
and
jam
he Sure
here.
does.
You
That's
don't
good
think so?
enough.
You think he might get away from it?
No, I don't. I mean, he's not getting away, but I'm thinking it might be a not all in 3-bet situation.
You think you could just flat? Oh, boy.
85K, you could probably go. But I mean, obviously, jamming is probably standard.
Just
I
ace king, ace
mean-
queen.
This is
I
what,
mean,
30
if
blinds?
you flat here, it's just so gross. Like, what do you do?
Oh, I mean, we're not flatting,
Yeah,
but we could
yeah,
probably like
it's-
80K is an option, but obviously
you
jamming.
trying to
is
get
also
away
fun.
from it? I mean,
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Richard will obviously call. Norman will get out of the way, and we will see the flipperino.
Yep.
Is my prediction.
Yep.
I actually don't
I don't
have.
think
What's
he's gonna
Norman
call.
gonna do?
You don't think Richard's gonna
I don't
call
think
this?
so.
I think he's gonna call.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like he's. I mean, because I think he would have called already, but maybe he will. He might be tight. I have this feeling that he's tighter, and he might be thinking about the kind of just sticking around for a little
He
bit.
doesn't have a lot in the pot. I mean, but it's Ace King.
Plus, he has
can't
Norman behind him.
Imagine.
Woo, he's really
I would
thinking
say
about it.
He's
I
in the
would-
tank here.
That's what
I
I'm
love that
saying.
he
Like,
thinks about
I feel like
everything.
he would have already called,
no,
but
it's
he
so
could
good
still.
that he's analyzing it. You know.
I
This-
think he's thinking about the life of the tournament right now,
Yeah.
opposed to getting it in right now.
You got to win flips if you want to win a tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not everyone goes by that, and not actually, and not everyone thinks about that though.
Well, you have
They try to
if you-
avoid
if
flips
you
at
put-
some point. I don't know. We don't know much yet. We'll see.
Uh,
I don't know what Richard's been doing lately. He might have been doing this
Yeah.
before. He might have been folding big hands pre-flop.
I mean, this is also a spot too where he has to be at least a little concerned about Norman. There may be some traps in Norman's range. You never know. I mean, he's not 3-betting ace queen, which is interesting here. Hijack versus cutoff. So, you know, you never know if you're Richard that, you know, maybe Norman has you trapped too, and then you're in a really bad spot.
Richard knows how good his hand
but-
is. That's why he's not letting it go.
Well, I mean, the jam makes sense because ace
Yeah, and he
queen
does
normally
make the call.
called. So
yeah,
And he
he's
has
gotta
to call,
think he's ahead
and
of the
Norman's
range.
gonna near snap fold the ace queen because he.
up, face up. Yeah.
Hey guys, I didn't,
guys,
I didn't
I'm-
3-bet
I'm
this,
folding,
and,
I'm
and,
this
and
good.
Yeah.
look at me get
I'm
away
this
from
I
this
lost the
hand for
minimum,
cheap.
and
Yeah,
then 3
for
queens
sure.
come, right?
share
No.
the sweat.
So this
That's what I like.
is going to be a flip for the
Norm
ages
style.
here. Nick will either gain a massive amount of equity in the tournament or be busto, and that
Ace!
is an
Ace
ace
is
ball.
always popular.
It was hiding. It was hiding behind
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
hiding.
Ultimate
It's
sweat
like,
here.
hey cousin,
It
get in
was
front
a
of me.
little scared. It was like, oh man. Like,
He says, "I got this."
We
Ace
got
coming
runner
out.
spades
Let's go.
here. Nope.
ace-
There's
ace
the
come out to
queen.
play.
And we just need a jack.
Just a jack.
Nick.
J for justice.
Let's
And,
go. Let's see it.
This is for jacks everywhere.
Nope.
No good.
No.
No
Okay.
good.
Richard, good call,
Richard
my
getting it
friend. Tanked
Hey Nick,
it.
GG's. Can we get? Oh
Yeah.
wait, he's eliminated. So Nick D, nice work, buddy. GG's in the chat for my boy here,
Yes.
Nick D.
Played a very good game from. I mean, he was pretty
got it
short,
in.
and he got the Jackson in the spot he needed to get the Jackson, and sometimes you just don't win the
Yeah,
flip.
that was good for $1,423.
There you go.
Nice work, Richard.
All right, we are
Richard,
down
aren't you glad you called?
to 7.
I'm glad he tanked it, though. It's nice to see him thinking through everything, and that's going to make his opponents even more afraid of him because they're like, you know, he is so thoughtful with these big hands.
I don't like the tanking. I think everyone here should just snap decision on everything.
Snap.
It's better.
There you go.
Yeah.
Time. Okay, there you go.
That's
new,
what I
new,
like.
new poker law.
Oh no no! I don't
3
want to
second
live by
shot
it, though.
clock. 3 second shot clock. You have 3
I'm an
seconds till you
exception
fold your
to
hand.
the law that I make. By
There you
the
go.
way,
You
that's,
get-
that's part of the law.
Oh, that was. I guess if
still
we're making
scary.
laws, we can
Wait, am I
implement
still
them however we want
got
to.
in this situation?
Especially
or
when
what?
that ace gets flashed at you pre-flop, and then
Very.
it still comes, you know.
It's true.
Chandra waking up with ace queen on the underground +1.
Yep. And
Norman is
Norman
called 25K.
Yep. folds to the big blind Joe, who's going to defend with the 10-8 and hits the 10 on the flop.
I'm trying to
So
decide if I know who Joe is. Has he been here before? Chat, have you guys seen Joe on any of these streams? Tournaments?
I don't know. But he does have top pair here. And it looks like Sean is c-betting, and that is a spot that Joe is going to be like, all right, it is Defenderino time here. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe led. I didn't realize that. Joe led.
Yeah, Joe led for 38,000.
I believe he led. No, it was. I don't know. There's 38K. It is Sean. It is Sean that bet the 38K. Okay, so it was a C bet. We expect Norman is not going to get terribly creative here with the big blind still to act. He does have the king of hearts though, so it can go through his mind that maybe he can find a float here in position against Sean. Obviously, we know that Joe is likely going to be coming along, and this is smelling pretty floaty here.
Yeah, you know what? Norm could pull
Norman.
that off. I think his playstyle doesn't really have. I don't know. I don't want to. Give him not enough credit, but floating. I haven't seen too much action.
He
in
does
that
have the
direction
king of
from
hearts.
Norman.
He does have. I think he lets it
But
go if
I'm
he
not
doesn't
sure
have
if
the king
he's
of
looking
hearts.
for that on the
Yeah.
back door though.
And
But
look
he
at
does
that.
hit the
Yeah.
jack,
Bing.
which puts him in the lead.
Yeah.
And
And
now
he's
this is-
celebrating a little.
Yeah, and this is actually now going to be a very interesting spot because now Sean, who bet, and you can see he's already getting ready to fire this again because he's sitting here thinking, all right, like I've now picked up, a gutter ball of the nuts. I also have the queen of hearts, so maybe I can bluff someone off of something if a heart comes. I obviously have 2 overs as well. He has to figure his ace is good most of the time, his queen is good most of the time. He knows a king is the nuts. He can bluff hearts, so I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into a double barrel from Sean, and even a triple. And we do see the double, and I really like this double barrel from Sean.
But I don't think it's going to get through it.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
Norman's not going to raise. This is going to be a flat. Yeah,
we're
I mean,
going to see a river here.
yeah, we certainly are.
Because I mean, Norm actually was waiting for something, and I don't know if he was going for an
That's a
overcard
small bet.
draw.
200K
but he
pot,
hit, so he might
57K
like
bet.
his jack
Small bet.
actually.
I mean, this is an easy call for Norman here.
yeah. This is a spot where Norman has to know, okay,
gonna
And
raise?
if I
tells
call this, like how many cards is Sean gonna fire on the
Yeah.
river, and what's that bet gonna look like?
Norm's
Yeah.
looking
And-
pretty confident, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah,
if I look at his,
was he thinking
just,
about raising even maybe?
No,
let's
he's
see what
gonna
he
make
has
the
there.
call,
Okay.
and it's a
I
tricky
think-
spot for Joe.
I think he's gonna try to just pretty much try to get there at
I
check
might come
call.
along if I'm Joe. 300K in the pot, 57K to call. I have a
true.
chance to win it.
And
Actually,
he
do
has to feel like, okay, there can be maybe, I mean, we see Sean firing the ace queen. Certainly Norman can have some heart draws, especially at the price he's getting. So, I mean, obviously we can sit in the booth and say, okay, well, we know Joe's behind, but there's definitely going to be some times that Joe does have the best hand. Of course, if he had folded there, I would have found that to be a perfectly fine fold, especially with, this is still three-handed, but, sometimes you just get there.
What?
Sometimes you just get
What,
there.
Joe?
Unfortunately for him, it's a heart.
Yeah, that could slow
So-
him down.
How
But we
smooth
were
does that
saying
feel?
that it's entirely possible that Sean fires the heart, but he does not. And
Yeah.
with the
Oh.
two
Norman
players
snap
behind.
jams.
Whoa!
What?
Norman, all in for 607 into a 350K pot.
Honestly, I think Norman is playing his image pretty well.
I think
here,
we
too.
might get a call here from Joe.
I mean, Joe has to call. He has 2 pair.
Well, there's a flush out. There's a straight out. It's for your tournament life.
And we're
against
talking
a
about the
chip
image
leader.
of Norm.
The-
and that's
the
a really tough. This is your
Yeah.
tournament life, but the thing is, I mean, what does he say now?
I might
200?
fold here actually.
The pot
It's
itself
so
is
much
close
pressure.
to 100.
Great bet. By
Yeah, it's
Norm.
almost 1 million.
Yeah,
He's,
almost 1
he's
million.
getting like
Amazing
5-1.
bet.
I mean, so the thing about this is, for Joe, the straight doesn't really make sense, right? Because it would have to be a float from Queen 9 or 9-7, both of which would be really, really ambitious, unless we have specifically 9-7 of hearts or Queen 9 of hearts.
I think he might be worried about Norman here, just calling all the way down here and then shipping it on the river.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're shipping it, I mean, he could put him on a small hard draw and hitting.
Yeah. Oh, I think
There
He's
is a straight
dying.
draw.
Look at
I mean,
his
there's
face.
draws everywhere on
He's
this. There's the
so sick right now.
Yeah.
He wants to snap it.
Well, and the other thing we have to remember that's tricky for Joe too is we know that Sean is going to snap fold as soon as Joe makes his decision, but Joe doesn't know that, and Joe doesn't know that Sean isn't check calling. Aces are certainly in his range. I mean, Sean can certainly he double barreled. He can certainly have any heart draw or anything.
I think this ultimately,
so
even though he has the odds,
Sean still to X makes it awkward for him too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely awkward. But I think we might be leaning towards a fold, as incredible of a fold as that would
there it is.
be. But it looks like
and we see Sean snap fold.
Yeah.
No.
Norman gets it.
Norman.
I mean,
what
I think
a sick
I think
bet.
Norman's table image has really just come through here.
I don't know.
believe.
Even with his image, you got to play your math. I get the fold, but
It's
well,
a creative
the
fold.
math would be
It's
to
a
call.
creative fold.
wow. I mean, it's
Creative.
for your tournament life. There's a straight, there's a flush. It's an all-in by the big stack.
Ultimately, though, what was he looking for on the river?
I mean, you're just hoping
that's a
you're
good
good.
point,
It's a
right?
hero call.
Yeah.
Because-
for sure. I mean,
You're looking for that. I mean, that's the hand he's looking for.
I mean, the 6 spot is that Norman's probably actually value betting there to try and get called from just a blank 10.
you have no idea
or
what he has.
or a queen jack type hand. Like I think that was actually a value bet from Norman, would be my guess.
he might think he's ahead
don't
there.
know.
Yeah.
Because because he shouldn't really be bluffing with top pair when he can just check and show down. And if he's gonna think that's good the vast majority of the time.
I don't know the
all-in was a
way
value
the
bet.
way
I think it was.
I wouldn't have done that because there's another person behind. That was aggressive all the way up. So
True. We'll have to ask. I would love to ask Norman if the king jack was a value bet or
that
a
makes
bluff.
it even stronger
What? If it
because
was
you
a
have
value
two
bet?
players behind.
Well, I mean,
I don't think Norm was looking for a call.
you don't think so?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, just based on the
Interesting.
history that I've had with him, I don't think so. But I mean, that's very
It
valid,
worked.
though. It's valid.
Yeah.
It's
Either
valid.
way, you won.
I think he would have been. I think he would have went for a smaller bet. But I mean, that was a play to make right here. So
Incredible. Now Norman at 995 from
There you
that
go.
play. Richard at 744. Katie at 319. Dave Gravy in fourth. And currently in seat 1 is Norman. Seat 2 is Dave Gravy. Seat 4 still there, right? G-Dog. Seat 5, Nick.
Nick busted.
Nick
with the
busted.
jacks
Okay. Is Joe
against
still
ace king.
there?
Yep. Joe just played that hand.
That's right. I'm sorry.
It's an 8.
Seat 6 is Joe. Seat 7 is KD, and seat 9 is Richard, and seat 8 is Sean Drake with over 3 million in Hendon winnings, guys. SMDH, who was just in that pot as well.
Katie.
man, I would have lost that hand too. I think I would have put like a half-size pot size bet in there.
With
And with
in
Norman,
which position?
Norman, if I were to make a play,
Right.
and just because I know, I just don't want to get snapped on there.
That
for an
jam
all-in
is
bet.
so much more intimidating.
I'm
well,
just,
that's why I think that's why he
Yeah.
would be.
I'm
putting
probably
on
just
bias.
checking and showing down.
What a
my jack.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you
There
think
you
you
go.
have value there. Like, you can just win with the queen.
No, I'm just saying, like, if he's gonna make a bet there, that's what I would think half a.
We see Sean jamming over the open from KD. Unfortunately for Sean here, Richard waking up with the 10s. This is certainly going to be a spot that I think Richard is going to make a call, and Sean is going to likely be at risk. And
Hey
we'll
Chad,
see
hope
how
you
it
guys are
works out,
enjoying the evening. We're just getting started. This is gonna go on for a few hours, so I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. Thanks a lot for being here. Okay, dude, welcome. Good evening, everyone. Everyone here that's sticking around. I'm seeing a lot of familiar names. Thanks, guys, for coming back. It's so awesome to see you guys.
Yeah, for sure. It's always great. I mean, that's the best part of Twitch, right? And YouTube as well. Streaming live on YouTube and streaming live on Twitch. Just the ability to have people to interact with and chat with and talk about hands. And I mean, chat's
Yeah.
going to have their own opinions about. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a 3-way pot, and it's for a lot of chips, and everyone's going to have a different opinion. And so
Yeah.
it's always a lot of fun to hear what
The
people are
feedback
thinking.
makes you so much better if you're open.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
open to it. Yeah.
Talking to Chad is the best part of my day.
There you go. Talking in chat's like the 15th best part of my day, but whatever.
The best-
I'm just messing, Chad.
The best part of my day is
He's
meeting
not kidding.
the
Who's your
TGB
favorite?
here.
Yes.
Hey, my
Touch
boy.
Hey, it's Norman! Norman!
Oh, we can ask him.
We can
Are
ask
we on
him.
break?
Norman!
Come on,
Norman!
quick.
Hang on.
Here, I gotta go pee
Okay,
anyway.
this is
so
gonna
you can have my spot.
this is gonna be really interesting now. Okay, so we're asking
what's up?
Norman. We have a huge question. Have a seat.
How you
Okay.
doing, buddy? How you doing?
Okay. You had King Jack on the button.
Oh yeah,
You jammed all in.
on the river.
Was it a bluff or a value bet?
I was representing the flush.
You were bluffing.
I was
Yeah.
With
representing
that,
flush.
Yeah, you called
I
it.
told him, I was like, when I
called
first saw
it.
your name, I said norm. I was like, is that the norm that I know?
There you go.
with the heavy deep
Because I
set?
felt like the small blind or the guy in the blind may
Yeah, 'cause-
have had two pairs.
He did.
He did.
He rivered the two
Yeah,
pair.
he did.
Right, so I had to. I mean,
make
that's
a
why
play.
Drake. I don't know what Drake had. Maybe he had a pair, but I had to just blast in to blow off the two because there's no reason why the guy in the blind was flatting the turn.
Yeah.
Unless he had significant equity in the hand.
Right.
So when
Yeah.
the river came as a heart,
You like that?
I wanted because I was flatting too.
Right.
Okay.
The jack I thought was okay, but when the river came as a heart, I had to just blast because
You just
I think if I checked, I would have lost the pot.
You would have. I mean, we know that now. You didn't know that at the time, of course.
I think if
but-
you wanted a value bet, what would you have bet if you wanted value? Let's say you thought that you had the best hand. What value bet would you have played?
There's no value.
There's no value.
No value.
Because I had showdown value with the jack, right?
You did,
Right.
yeah.
So you're
But
checking
the
the-
jack by itself is not good
no
enough
good.
for a showdown.
Especially, right,
With
exactly.
two others. Heads
Yeah,
up
that
against
bullet.
Drake maybe, but the guy, this guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe in the big blind.
Yeah.
kind of threw me off on that hand, so I had to just blast him off.
It was. I mean, it was a huge pot. Like we
loved it, man.
We see like you're the chip leader. We don't know. Don't tell us if you're the chip leader now. We don't know what's gonna happen in the next 30 minutes.
I read-
so no spoilers.
I-
but
yeah,
right.
but right now you're the chip leader.
There's
and how's
several
that feeling?
several other hands where I'm just blasting and
You're just
intimidating
blasting.
them.
Really excited to see you at
Running
the top
people
of
over.
the board, bro. Very nice. This guy here, you guys gotta watch out. He's
No
gonna
one
watch.
knows. No one
He
knows.
might take your
I'm-
sandwich.
We're seeing some.
I'm
we're
li-
seeing
I'm-
some
I'm-
sick plays right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a 5. I mean, I opened with I think 5-7 against this guy.
Yeah.
He had jacks and he flatted. So
Is this
that-
wait? Is this a hand that's
Yeah.
coming up? Because we don't want spoilers.
I don't know. I haven't
Okay.
been watching the stream.
There,
It's a
there
30-minute
may
delay.
or may not be a 7-5 open into jacks that has not been confirmed by
Don't
anyone.
look
Right,
for
Norman,
it,
that
chat.
hand may or may not exist. We don't know if it does or not. But we'll be excited to see you push people around for sure.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of
That's-
fun.
Yeah.
That's half
Are you
the
having
fun.
fun?
That's having
Are you having
fun.
fun over
That's
there?
having people over at the final
intimidate
table.
him.
I got
And
this
make
mountain
him-
of chips. Am I having fun?
I'm having fun because
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 1 million as my opening bet.
Hey,
1 million.
let's
Because I'm the
go,
only one on the
baby.
table with 1 million.
There you go.
I think I have half the chips in play. So.
Okay. Yeah, you have. I mean,
and
you
I,
have
and I
about a
recognize
million
some
right
of the
now.
players. I know what they're capable of. So
Okay.
when I
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's
when
some
you
regs
blast,
in
you
there.
blast.
there's regs in there. and
Yeah, for
so-
sure. But you're a reg too, so let's hit it.
There you go.
Yeah, but they don't know what I'm doing.
They don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
trying to give. I'm trying not to give the secrets that I think I know about you.
Yeah.
Well,
you gotta keep
well,
Which is
well,
probably
well,
false.
Quiet. You gotta keep those
you
quiet.
recognize that move when I jammed
did,
with the jack
I did,
that-
I did.
My jack
Snap
was-
said
I-
that's a bluff.
100%
And I was like,
knew it
yes,
wasn't value. Like
There's
just because
no
I
val-
played with you, that's the only advantage I had on that one.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
why?
was-
why
you
would
did
I?
not want that
Yeah.
call. For
I
sure.
didn't want to check.
It was impressive.
Oh,
Hey man, good
all
luck.
right,
All
Very
right.
impressive. Good luck
Keep
the rest
doing
of
it.
the way.
Hey,
Keep it
good
up.
luck, brother.
Good to see you, man. Keep it up, Norman. Keep crushing it out there. So we did see also Sean Drake busting 7th, 10s versus ace 10. We were interviewing Norman at the time, but
Yeah. Looks like Norman is at a million mark right now.
he is.
Hi.
Yeah,
Great
he's calling it out.
Norman.
BotLady's back.
Hey.
I
What's
am. I
up,
took pictures
BotLady?
of you in here.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
appreciate it. It wasn't.
How much are
creepy.
you selling them for?
I'm always creepy.
That's the good.
You
That's,
gotta sign it. Value
Good thing
goes
I'm not a
up.
dude,
yeah,
eh?
yeah. Oh man, could you imagine if we had a picture we all signed and like that would actually be.
And then we were
I'm gonna throw this
almost
one
famous.
out as a. We have no really open walls, but it would be fun to have like a like a
trapped.
wall that like everyone that
Oh
has
man.
commentated in Stone's
Oh,
live
geez.
history has like
We need a
signed,
bigger wall.
right? That'd be fun. Just throwing that out there.
So what did he say? I totally didn't hear it.
He said it was a bluff. He said he was bluffing with the King of Hearts and getting
He
someone
wanted
off
to get
two
out
pair.
of dodge on that one.
Wow.
It was, I mean, high level stuff there from Norman
We're
for
seeing
sure.
a lot of thinking play at this
I think
table.
those pink chips are they $5,000 chips? I think they
Yes,
are. And then the
they are
black
5,000. The
ones
black are 1,000.
are 1,000.
Yep.
Got it.
So
are we playing with
have,
placards tonight?
I don't know. I presume if we are, it'll be at color up. They might get rit of the 1,000s, but
Yeah.
I would guess. I mean, we like to
see.
see towers on stream because the towers look really cool. So I imagine they did the same thing in the sit and go where they wanted the appearance of like massive chip stacks because that's way more fun.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't color and we just have massive stacks by the end.
Yeah, that'd be fun to watch.
Um,
All right, guys. All right, what level are we at now? 5,000, 10,000 blinds with a 10,000 Annie.
That's right. And we
Big
are
blind
now
ante, that is.
6-handed. Yep. Oh man, true story, JD. This is. I'm gonna get. I shouldn't tell this story, because I'm gonna get made fun of for this story for the rest of my poker career.
Well, I'm glad it's a true one.
But, sometimes we just gotta tell people what happened.
Hey, let's hear it.
So I'm playing the tournament today.
Okay.
Right, level 1. We have 100, 100. Cool. We're doing what we need to do. Whatever.
30K.
Level 2. It is still 100, 100, but now we have 100 big blind ante. And TGB just happens to be on the button during the first hand of level 2.
Hey, JK.
And TGB looks at the board and he says, oh, okay, it is 100, 100 with a 100 ante. And so proceeds to put 100 chips and toss it towards the pot before the dealer is dealing.
No.
And the whole table just kind of looks at me like, are you calling blind? What are you doing here?
What is
and the
this
dealer's
guy?
like, why did you throw 100 chips in? I'm like, oh, it says 100 ante. And everyone on the table is like, yeah, that's a big blind ante, bud. And I'm like, oh no. And so the table got a good laugh.
We're not
I got
in
a good
Kansas
laugh.
anymore.
I'll never not hear about that from my chat, but that's fine. It happens.
Hey.
I've never played with a big blind ante before.
You gotta learn today.
It was a lot better to have big blind ante.
Well, welcome to the club, Big Blind
yeah.
Ante Club.
Subscribe me to the Big Blind Ante Club. That can actually be. I'll add that to the laws of poker. All tournaments are now played with Big Blind Ante. If it's just
it's
standard play.
going that direction.
It is.
Maybe a small law is to actually just post it online, let everyone know, so then it just becomes a thing.
There you go. Easy game. All right, we have Norman in the cutoff. He said he was going to start running people over, and we see now the cutoff open with the 10-7, just like he said in chat that he is going to be aggressive, and he is going to try and run people over. And unfortunately for him, Davey Gravy is waking up with jacks in the big blind here, and that is going to be a flat, which is interesting. And actually, I think the hand that he was previewing, so he said 7-5. Apparently, it was 10-7, or our cards might be read wrong as well. That's a possibility. We'll have to see how it runs out. There is a 5-ball on the flop.
A 5 there.
And so this will now be interesting, because if Norman holds to his I'm going to blast people off stuff, an ace-high board trying to get people off jacks is a good way to do it.
Oh, man. Norman sometimes cosplays as the Energizer Bunny. With those pink chips, he's pushing people off. Let's go.
See how it runs out. It certainly has to be a float here from Davey Gravy, but he's not going to feel good about the ace on the board.
Oh man, what a spot! I love that bet.
Wow,
he just. The thing is, Norm has this incredible image right now, and it's great. It's great. I love it.
No way.
That's why
Never
I love
fold.
playing with Norm.
Jack sweat. Wow.
So, I mean, this is a spot where if we're going to fold our jacks on an ace-high board, a king-high board, a queen-high board, we should probably just 3-bet jam them so we don't make that mistake.
It's so hard to play him post-flop.
Otherwise, we're just going to be in an awkward spot.
TGB needs to play more live poker with the first floor crew.
Did SMDH go out when I was out of the booth?
Yes, he lost.
I'm like, what happened?
Ace 10 into 10s.
Oh.
Richard had 10s in the big blind.
Richard.
If I remember right,
he did.
There you go. Appreciate the backup.
Was that? I didn't hear what you said.
Oh.
Oh, was that? I didn't know what the first floor crew was.
The first floor crew is a stream joke, because I live in an apartment complex. There's four apartments on the first floor, and so occasionally, my neighbors will knock on my door while I'm streaming or doing whatever, and I'm streaming, so I get up and I'm like, hey, what's going on, blah, 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 but I've got 6 tables, and we need to end these conversations quick. I'm blinding out while these conversations are going on. But I said that I was going to, so one of the apartments is empty right now, and I said that once someone's in that apartment, I'm going to invite everyone over, for dinner or something, and just hey, I'm Brian,
time.
What's going on?
I feel that.
But I nicknamed us the first floor crew because we're the people from the first
He's a
floor.
liar. He loves those conversations.
Yes. But of course, Nucifer is correct that I should play live poker with them, because I would probably take all of their money if they
I would
wanted
love to play live poker with you, actually. That'd
would
be
be
a lot of fun. I think we'd have a good time.
Idea for you. I'm going to throw this one out. I actually wanted to throw it out to Mike. I think that I could get 9 people to come. And if you're in chat right now and you're like, TGB, I'd love to play a sit and go against you, I would love to have all 9 people in a sit and go,
Invitation. We're gonna call that
Twitch, a Twitchish.
Right.
It's like Lex Live, but only for 9 people. Because I'm not
That
Lex
sounds
Feldhouse. I'm the Golden
amazing.
Blazer.
Right.
So I don't have,
You're the
it.
next Lex.
I don't have 10,000 people in my
like
chat.
Golden
I have like
Blazer
70.
invite.
Hey,
Oh
TGB,
my
you're the
God.
next Lex.
I
appreciate that.
I want to get an
BotLady.
envelope in the mail.
Yeah.
Can I
That's
quote you
cool.
on that?
Yes, please.
All right, I will
Yeah.
quote you. I'm gonna add that to the list of quotes on my Twitch channel.
All right.
The next Lex Feldhouse
Plain tuna
hyphen BotLady.
I like
Yeah,
it.
it's good to have
I like Tunica.
inspirations and people that inspire you to
Where do
do
you have
better,
to travel
be
for
better.
this? We'll find out.
We're all
find out,
collaborating,
guys.
and
Squad wants to
I
play,
hope to
Safari.
also
Hey, what's up,
inspire
guys?
other people.
Yeah.
Like Kufo Ho. Hello.
Yeah.
Shenron. Hey.
So
Man, I love
basically,
you guys.
basically, what I'm finding out is that everyone in chat wants to play this segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Everybody out here.
who's hyped
Cannot
for that?
wait. When you come, make sure you say hi to me
Yeah,
and
just
JDR.
her.
Yeah.
And then I'll come by and say what's going on.
Yeah, he sure will.
Hey,
I'm
I tagged
jealous.
you. I just made a post on Twitter.
Nice.
You're in it.
Who'd you tag?
You,
Oh, my
the
phone
Golden
just lit up.
Blazer.
All right.
Hey.
No, we're making things
We also had
happen
another interesting question in chat from Man Illusion. If you had to change your name, what would your new name be and why?
here. Me?
First dibs. You always go first, and then you got to use your time.
But
bank chip
Norm
and
has
pass it
Ace
to-
King offsuit.
He does, and we're gonna have to watch this all
And
in.
8-9 is such a nice hand.
It's not a nice hand when you're getting jammed on, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That is for sure.
I mean, honestly, it's probably a pretty easy fold here.
no, yeah. Davy Gravy is just he doesn't want to make it look like he's opening light or anything. So he kind of wants to be like, oh, like
Oh,
I'm
man.
considering this, but that's certainly one that
Norm
he's just
says, "You want to see?"
letting go.
Nudist in the house. Nice to see you. Are you still in that RV? Was traveling.
I don't know about you guys, chat, but when someone
100
asks
miles
me,
an hour
"Do you
in
want to see
RV.
my hand?"
There you
That's
go.
100% yes. Do you want to see one? I'd like to see both. What do you guys think?
I mean,
I'm
I never
pretty
not want information on my
Yeah,
opponents.
well, I
so-
mean, we've seen it. Hey, you want to see my hand? Nah, you're good. Hey.
Newsfer in chat says I'd never heard of garlic before last week. That's not correct. I didn't know the difference between a garlic head and a garlic clove until last week, which is still something I probably should have known at 27. But we all have gaps in our knowledge, and sometimes this is the problem with Twitch chat is when you're see
No,
we all have gaps in our knowledge.
Here's the thing. It's like, have I really looked into the garlic, the
What-
physique of the
What
garlic?
is what? Do you know what the difference is?
I mean,
between the head and the clove?
it becoms it's gathered together.
It's a
and then it
very
breaks.
specific difference.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A bulb is when they're all gathered. Right? And
mean,
then
yeah,
when it
sure.
breaks apart, then it's a head.
No, so the
That's
head.
different. That's what you're talking about, right?
A clove is like so. There's like 6 or 7 cloves on a head
Right.
of garlic.
Okay.
So like each individual like
so the head is
piece,
the.
the head is the whole thing.
Nah, so I had it the other
Yeah,
way
you're
around.
right,
I
yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
See, I see. Chat. This is defensible. This is a defensible gap in my knowledge. If no one knows, then really, maybe it's not a piece of information.
Well, I don't want to
that's-
represent the no ones.
Oh.
All right, let's go. So yeah, 6-3 offsuit here. Looking to call. Let's see. What do we have here? We're still sitting at the same blinds. We have 14 minutes left on this round here.
Katie gonna open the hijack with the ace jack.
TGB, would you like something to eat?
No, I'm good. I bought like a billion appetizers at Sammy's
Ooh,
during.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Oh, Norm's sitting on King Queen. You know what? He
Happy hour,
actually
right?
Duck
sitting on the
tacos.
button.
Duck tacos.
I'm sure his range is going to be
tacos.
widening
Did
up.
you do the lettuce
Duck
cup?
He's going to turn into the Terminator here.
I forgot.
The super healthy way.
So he's gonna
And
flat.
it looks like he's flatting. Oh,
Whoa.
okay.
Davy Gravy has certainly either option is fine. He can flat the king queen here on the small blind. He can also blast. I think folding is probably pretty too tight, but I don't
love
think that
the
he
flat.
is considering it. So yeah, I think you can either flat or blast. He doesn't have room obviously to do like a weird not all in
Right.
3-bet, and it does look like he is
He's
gonna
on the
find
small
the
blind.
flat.
Man.
Yeah, I like the
I'm
flat.
liking how
Dog,
Norman is
check
playing
flat.
these hands on the button regardless. I think he's going to play his button regardless.
All right, so we have 10-8-6 here on the flop, and a snap shove from Davy Gravy, and this will probably work out.
Yeah.
Just
He
a
had a
raw
plan.
bluff.
You
just
call
a
that
raw
like
bluff.
a stop and go, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I call it a. Oh, I can't even remember.
Kind of muddy.
Like
to buy in his
the
350.
poker vernacular is stop and go, but I call it something else. Someone in chat help me out. People that watch my stream, what do I call it? I'm blanking because I'm on Stone's Live and flat jam. Thanks, Stone Life. Yeah, I call it a flat jam because I
Flat
think that
jam.
sounds cooler. But stop and go is like standard poker terms. Nihilus, I did not cash, but I lasted longer than Logan, so
Hey.
that's a goal within itself.
That's a brag, right? Did you have a side bet last longer?
You know, I should have, but
Darn!
I wouldn't have taken myself in a last longer.
Oh no,
so
you would have bet on
when
him.
when you're not taking yourself in a last longer, it's probably not a good idea to do a last
Man,
longer.
I would have traded a piece.
If you're not going
at
to take
least.
yourself, then that's
Did
fishy.
you guys trade pieces?
Sus, I say.
No.
We're playing to win.
Wow.
Playing to win.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're playing to win, you can still. I don't know.
I like to play to win.
You know, at
Play-
least even
play
out
to
the
win
variance.
90%.
Well, like even out the variance a little bit. I don't know.
We're both well rolled for it.
There you go.
All
How many
right.
of you guys play to have fun?
I play to win. Winning is fun. Done.
I play to stream, and
There you
then
go.
I win because I'm better than everyone.
Hey, Miss Bob.
He's like, who is this arrogant guy that
I
has
love
come into
TGB.
this
Oh, I love
booth?
it.
No, TGB is so sweet, you
love
guys. Wait, I shouldn't say that. No, he's a crusher. Rah!
Scary.
The aura is great in here. I
Very
love it.
scary.
Be
I feel it.
afraid.
There's a mist here, and it's
Deuce
nice.
is here.
I think it's called happiness.
I think
Pretty
it's
happy
called
in
Red
here,
Bull.
Right? I like it.
I'm
I
having a
like
great
it.
time.
I got wings
Having a great
tonight.
time.
You got wings?
There you go.
Yeah,
Red
and gold,
Bull?
all golden, all
go.
golden. That's what we're doing. Gold drinks, gold
Everything's
dress, gold blazer.
I'm a player tonight.
There you go.
See, guys?
Hey,
I'm a player.
I like
Hey,
that
let
hat,
me
by
see the
way.
hat for
I
a
like
sec.
that
I'll
hat
put
a
it up
lot.
to the camera. I'll put it up to the
hair's not done.
What?
Your hair
It's
is not-
Nintendo, you guys.
I have
Just- if you
no
can't read
hair
it.
on the back of my head. You know it happens. Anyway, we have a raise from KD. Under the gun, Richard flats Ace Jack and the hijack. We do not know what Davy Gravy has, so we can play some guess the hand too, based on what happens if we get there. Joe's gonna flat with King 8 suited, and hope to see some diamonds. And there they are. Look at that, Joe flopping just about as good as you can there with King 8.
That is a lovely flop.
And he's gonna
Absolutely.
snap-a-reno,
All
jam-a-reno it
Holy
in.
moly. I don't know about that
Um,
one.
Yeah,
how much
I
does he
like.
have right now? 115? I think, well, let's see.
Yeah, I mean that's probably about a pot-sized jam.
Oh, yeah, it
Certainly,
is.
check jam is an option as well. Check jam probably a little higher in the EV, but both of them are obviously fine.
Oh, Safari Guy wants a full screen. Yeah, when we have a break, which is coming up soon, we will definitely show you the hat, Safari Guy.
Yes, it is a very cool hat. Yeah, where'd you get that? I'm like super excited about that hat right now because I that was the first control. Like that was the first controller I
Yeah,
played.
it was the NES.
Yeah.
Nintendo Entertainment System, this hat right here.
I
Let me get to the hat.
have,
real- Let me go to the camera
Yeah,
real quick.
please do. If there's anything that we need on
I
this
bought
stream, it's
little
a close-up of
teethers
hat
that were
for
little
sure.
Nintendo controllers that were made out of like teething material for my babies.
Okay.
They used to like teeth on like what looked like a Nintendo
Wow, that's pretty cool
controller.
stuff.
It's weird.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like our generation of parents, like we grew up with that. So
Yeah.
why not, market to us weird kid stuff? I don't like,
There you go.
like, I
I
don't
think it might be pretty easy to find on
I'm
Hot
pretty
Topic,
surprised-
maybe GameStop.
As a side note, that Richard is in the tank here, because I mean, and he does let it go, and now Davy Gravy called with pocket. Oh, he has a set of threes. I was like, he called with an underpair, and then I realized it was a set, and so we're gonna have a nice.
Now we can
all-in
see the hand there.
situation here. Oh, Ian Sheriffs. Hope you're doing well.
Sheriff in town.
There you go. Look out. And that is a diamond ball, so he's just going to have to dodge board pairs now.
It's not very many outs, but there's a couple, and it's another diamond.
There you go.
Not a pair.
Not a board pair, and
We're not
it's
playing
going to be a double
Omaha.
for Joe.
Hey.
Almost felt like it for a second there.
Nucifer is noticing the dealer. Says the dealer looks so serious. Actually, that's Rebecca. She's really nice, But she comes in and she does what she does best.
You know what? It's a lot of thinking as the dealer, right? Like you are thinking before you even see the showdown. What am I going to do with this pot? Like, you know.
Well, and when you're on this table, you have to relay all the information.
Yeah.
So we're getting the chip counts and all the action and stuff. So
You don't want to mess it up at all. People have their
Yeah.
money on the line there, and on a final table, like you need a serious dealer that's going to treat you with respect and treat the money with
yeah,
respect.
absolutely, and she's doing a wonderful job for sure.
All of the staff here will treat you like family. Everybody.
It's true. I've genuinely had a wonderful experience at Stones. like everyone's been really welcoming. Everyone's done just such a good job of, you know, the games have been great. As far as like the way they're run, and the tournament was awesome today. The sit and go was obviously a lot of fun last night. It's been a wonderful experience. And meeting the top 2 commentators on Twitch. Just throwing that one out there.
Woo!
I'd like to meet him. Wait, what?
Oh.
Hey,
At
so
least
I
JDR is funny.
thought of a law. Hey, I thought of a law, guys.
You thought of a lot.
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
a
Man
lot.
Illusion has another question first.
Oh, okay.
He says right here before it goes down, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen someone
Oh,
in
I
someone
read
else's
that.
home? Oh my goodness.
Okay, I want to hear. Hang on, because
Okay,
we have
the
to
law
think about it.
first.
So law
Yeah.
first, yeah, for sure.
Oh, law first. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we'll have to think about
Yeah, I think maybe something that I think this is going to line up with poker really well. I think if you have hit, like, there should be a tracker of how many hours played, right?
Okay.
Right? So everyone has that. So when someone goes, hey, I want to know how many hours you've played.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
We have to have that device that records that on us every time we enter a room.
Okay.
And then once you hit 1,000 hours play, you have to do a home game,
Okay.
a full table home game before you can get back into another
Interesting.
club.
Okay.
I like it.
All
I
right.
think it's just gonna. I think it would bring poker closer together.
That makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
right?
For sure. For sure. We also saw a complete there. I think it was from Joe, and then getting raised and just letting it go. I
Norman
think
at
it
a
was
million. Davey G Dog on little stacks here. K Dog, Katie in the middle. Joe with 375.
Can you imagine someone just knowing how many hours of poker you've played, just by like maybe like a tag on you or something? Like that?
It's actually really interesting because, like, with the amount of hands I've played online, I've estimated at like 2-ish million would be my guess. The number of hands I've played.
I think they
which-
should separate it too. Like
be
online.
fun.
Are you an online player? Like,
Oh, yeah.
right? Yeah.
No, I'm largely just.
Is that
online.
giving too much information to the world, to your
What?
opponent?
that if
Your
they know
hours
that
played?
I'm just maybe. I mean, certainly if someone came into the casino and they said, "Oh, I have 2 hours played," I would treat that player obviously a lot
Hey
differently.
guys, what is this game? And they're all looking at your badge. Your
You know.
badge says 2 million hours played. Oh, this is my cousin's.
Could you swap? Could you angle shoot the badges?
Oh
Is
my
that an
god,
option?
I don't know. Yeah.
So what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in someone else's house? I mean, I've seen hoarders' houses. That's pretty disturbing.
Empty tank fish or fish tank. Sorry, not tank fish. An empty fish tank.
Really?
Like I've gone and visited. Yeah, it was my friend's friend, and I visited her like maybe a good 3 or 4 times, and it was like empty for like 3 months, and I'm thinking, okay. So that's it for me. It stuck with me too.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't go over to people's houses very often.
One of my neighbors had newspapers stacked
Wait.
from he had a path
You could
with
do
newspapers stacked from the floor to the ceiling.
Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding.
And I lived across from him for like years, and one day I saw him open his door, and I freaked out. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like he's gonna die in there. Like it's gonna all fall on him one day, you know. And
Yeah.
Some people do weird things in their house. I don't know.
A lot of people do weird things. Just generally.
I'm not one of them.
I'm sitting here wearing a gold blazer. You know, things get.
I
things
clean
get
my
strange.
own house. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Strangest thing I've seen in someone else's house.
Oh, earlier you said.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say earlier you're like, hey, thanks for having my back. Was I like included in a conversation earlier?
I don't
was like,
remember
an hour ago.
specifically.
Okay, never mind.
I'm sure.
I was like, okay.
You're always included
Well,
in
when
our
you turn
conversation.
this way,
Yeah.
just so you know, like the volume goes 50%. So just so you know, when you turn to talk
Okay.
to her,
Yeah.
just so you know,
Cool.
so that I might not.
Don't talk to me.
It's
Yeah.
it's tricky because like I
Wow.
know the
I
camera is
wasn't supposed to go
here,
that far.
Yeah.
but I know that if I'm
Yeah.
here on the camera, then
Yeah.
like you know you're like
Yeah.
I'm like literally talking away from you, and so like but then like you know if I'm here
you're
like
talking to
now look at like this like I can just go like this. It's fine.
Don't you guys want to see the back of our heads? All the whole
Lucifer, who is a hoarder?
string? Ace King to 10.
There
Order
we go.
of
We get it
aces.
in. Good luck to Davy Gravy
Oh, wow. Here
here.
we go.
Joe looking to stack some more chips.
I don't know. What do you guys feel in the 10s with Ace King? I feel the 10s. I feel the 10s. They're going to hold. What do you guys think? Tell us in chat.
Ace has been popping up lately.
I'm now
Just
thinking
saying.
it's the 10s. I'll wait till after the flop
75%.
to make
Let's
my
wait till the
read.
turn. And then, oh.
There you go.
Sheesh.
Proved
There you go.
wrong.
Confirmed.
Can we get the 10 on the river?
Hey, this time it was the king.
Confirmed.
Can we get the 10 on the river?
Rigorino.
No, another
Oh,
king,
Pair the
king,
king
king
off.
Insult to
comes.
injury.
Wow.
There you go.
Joe regretting not calling off with that 10-8 now. Right?
Yeah.
Wow. Big pot for Davy Gravy here.
It
Is he
is.
wearing goggles on his
Nice.
forehead? Is that
I
what
think
that
it's
is?
just sunglasses. I
Oh,
hope
okay.
it's sunglasses.
Gotcha. Looks pretty cool.
Is there a pool around Stone's Life? They could put. How about this idea? Stones Live folk.
Light bulb.
How about a pool on top of Stone's Gambling Hall?
Oh, that doesn't sound effective at all.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty terrible idea,
it
but
might be empty majority of the time.
you know, JD, my basic life strat is just that I throw a bunch of things at the wall,
Oh,
and then like
man, I
some
love
of
it.
them are guaranteed to work.
I need an idea box.
Yes. Don't put a pool on top of Stone's Gambling Hall in that box.
I'd
though.
rather hear ideas than none at all.
I can get behind
Hey,
that.
that's a great philosophy. What do you guys think? So we're at 5 and 10K blinds for the about 2 minutes left. Still the big blind ante at 10K.
Yep. And it'll be interesting to see how people start adjusting ranges. We see KD's thinking about an open here, it looks like, with the weak ace, and he does open. We'll see how this works. This is a spot where we can see Norman come in with some 3-bets. We'll see. And like there, and he's like, I have pocket fives.
That's the hand to do it with.
I don't really feel like flatting this.
Yeah, you
This
don't want
could be a 3-bet arena.
You just take it
We'll
down
have to
here
see
with
what he
the
does.
fives, yeah. And you're on the button too, which is even better.
And he is just gonna flat. So, but
Alright.
we'll get ready for some post flop aggression for sure from Norman. I can't imagine that he's just gonna leave this one to go quietly with the pocket fives. We'll see how it runs out. That's not a great board for him though. I mean, this is a spot where it's really interesting, right? Because like I'm probably just like full. I'm like just oh, KD checks, and look at this. He checks and Norman just snap jams and gets it through, and it's just like, look, buddy. Like,
Oh man, they've got some history too.
You're
Katie's
gonna
been
have to make a
playing this game with Norm. I've been at the same table with these 3 guys. Yeah, they're solid players. Definitely want to pick your spots with those guys.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And clearly Norm is feeling like, I mean, we look at these stacks, right? Like
He's on top of the world right
Richard, like we've got basically 4 people that are kind of playing for 3 through 6, and then Norman and Richard that are kind of like destined to go heads up. And of course that's not going to happen every time, but when 2 million of the 2.5 million chips are in 2 of people's stacks, it's going to run out. It's going to run out that way a decent chunk of the time. But that's the spot now where Norman knows, hey, guess what? I can put pressure and I can make plays and I can do things against, these guys that are probably just looking at third and going, hey, that's not a bad payout.
Not
if I
bad.
can get there, that
Yeah.
wouldn't be the worst thing. So
Gonna give him something to fight for. So it looks like G-Dog has ace, jack, suited diamonds, and queen 9. Joe's holding 70 to call.
Yep.
For the all-in with the queen 9 hearts.
Man Illusion has another question. What are some of the fun and interesting alternatives to war that countries should settle their differences with?
Easy answer. I get dibs.
All right, let's go.
We're on a
Please.
poker stream, so we could just have a heads up match between the 2 leaders of the
Ace
country.
Jack of Diamond versus Queen 9 of Hearts.
be-
Joe
Lot of
with the
RNG
Queen
there.
9.
Yeah, that would be dicey. But then also you could do chess as well.
Man Illusion.
little
with
less
a-
chess,
with
little
a
less
deep-
variance.
with a
I
deep
mean,
question
yeah,
here.
Two
actually,
world leaders sitting
that
down,
reduces
play a
a
game
lot
of chess.
variance.
No more war. It's just, of course, then you
Oh,
elect
man.
the best chess
Could you
player.
get a proxy?
Yeah,
Could you get a
best
proxy to
country,
play for
best
you?
chess players.
I guess. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not setting the rules. I'm just
All
saying
right.
it'd be fun.
You draft? I mean, come on now.
Can you draft? And
Yeah,
it blanks
Magic the
out.
Gathering you can draft.
Ace Jack holds for G-Dog, and it looks like the players are going on the break.
Yay!
Which means
break
it's marble time.
Marble race!
So type exclamation play in the chat.
Exclamation point play.
I hope it's loaded already. Mike, is it loaded? It's loaded.
It's loading, he
The
says.
lovely Twee, our tournament director
There it
tonight.
is. Cosmic Chaos.
Stimpy
Wait,
says Jello Wrestling. That's my husband. What a freaking genius idea.
Is she running the tournament? Oh yeah, she is. for
All right,
sure.
so we have 12 marbles in the race. We gotta get some marbles going. We gotta get some marbles in this race.
Are you racing?
Get
Get your phone out. Let's go.
You are our guest, so I will let you have it. Unless
the
you're
good
getting
news
on your
is-
phone right now.
The good news is that I actually always win marble races. I actually
Do you win your own race?
I actually talked to Pixel by Pixel.
Yeah?
And I
my
said,
own
"Hi,
race.
Pixel by Pixel. I would like you to always rig marble races so that I always win."
So you never give anything
And
away.
they said, TGBY, of course we'll do that for you. All you have to do is type exclamation point boost in chat. And so
And we have the lube emote in my chat, which is originally one of my mods made exclamation lube your marble down the track for a fast race, and we made it into an actual emote.
there you go. Emotes 15th best.
So-
It's in the top 15 things in Twitch.
If you put the
emotes.
lube emote in my chat, it says something. It's like, woo.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Cool. I love the ability to combo Nightbot with like something. You can do some really creative stuff in Twitch. We have 31 entrants right now, 25 seconds to get in the race. We have 31 marbles. I'm gonna set the over under at 22.5. What do you got?
Over.
JD?
Everybody, King's Full loves
You're saying
himself.
everyone's gonna
No, I'm
finish?
saying King's Full. I love JDR. That
Oh.
is JDR, by the way. He loves himself.
Oh.
Self-love
Oh,
going on in the booth. Is
brilliant.
that against
Brilliant.
TOS, you guys? I
Yikes.
don't know. Oh.
I'm gonna take the under on my
How
own
many?
22.5. 22.5.
What is
think
this?
it's close.
Cosmic Chaos under for sure.
Under for sure. BotLady says. BotLady is the highest level marble streamer on Twitch.
Chat,
Poker
you guys are
marble, at
great.
least.
You
Poker
guys are
marble
amazing.
combo.
Yeah, we do both all stream, which is like when the first time I ever
This
did
is
it,
definitely
the
live
chat was
for
like, "Are
real.
you sure you can handle this?" I'm like, "I practiced off stream. We're good. We're good."
All right.
Yeah.
Yay, they made me a mod.
You
that
just gotta
means
hit
I get
tab. Hit
to,
tab
get
and
to
you're
skew
good.
the rules.
There you go.
JK.
I mean,
The toilet bowl right now. We're going down.
but actually. Yep. Here we go.
Nice. Let's get
And
it. Let's swirl down.
You got it. You always got to look to see who has like the inside track on this, and it looks like it's like B Schmidt.
Killer Bird,
in a
is
good
this live
spot.
for real? This is live. Do you have any questions for BotLady, the Golden Blazer, or JDR, all sitting in the booth right now talking to you directly?
That's right.
amongst the other special people in our chat.
And still no one in yet. I don't think. We have the ghost ball. Oh, look at this. This is a brilliant view here. We get to see the marbles pop out of the funnel.
I love that.
I love it.
Mike is a pro
Right in the
camera.
canal.
Camera, Mike, the cameraman.
Mike, the producer, right behind us, producing the show, clicking all the buttons while we just talk.
Pretty much. We just kind of sit here. We say semi-interesting things, and
I
then
hope
Mike does
so.
all the work. It's pretty great.
I hope we're interesting.
Developers of marbles could actually use this for great marketing. They could have the walls lined up with like brands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
JD,
Hey,
JFK
let's go.
coming in here telling everyone to shut their computer off. I don't know if you actually want to do that because you're watching the stream, but Ultimate Troll, our boss up in here. Hey, get some props out for him.
There you go. Good stuff. All right, so in the marble race, Stone Life Poker, we're saying
See what
GG
happens,
as
Stone
well
Life?
to Nudist.
When you-
BotLady has rigged the marble race.
Hey,
Confirmed.
it's my lube, I'm telling you. And I
BotLady
made
rigged the marble race.
I made this lube just for KY, who won the 1K buy-in. I was trying to spin into it today,
Shenron,
and I saw him on the
yikes.
list. And I go, "Did you spin into this?" He
Marble
goes, "No,
speed
I got a hair at my butt and bought in for $1,000, and then won the tournament
Negative to the Alt F4, by the way, guys.
Bingo.
Negative
One of the
none,
one of the
man.
big Twitch poker mods today
Yeah.
won $45,000 on ACR.
But
Congratulations!
Is he going to win this marble race?
Do not
And
hold
which
the
would he
power
be more
button down
excited
on your
about?
computer.
I have no idea, but
Yeah,
I
we'll
couldn't
shut it
believe it.
down.
I took a nap. I came back and he was at the final table.
There you go.
I was like, "Oh my god!"
It is Shenron in the lead, followed by It's Really Hector. Shenron, one of the top 3 mods on my channel. So confirmed marbles rigged for mods because we see that
To
Ghost
be
of M
fair,
is currently
Shenron,
in third.
Ghost to M, shout out to you. Another
It is a little bit toxic.
very important, if not the most important Twitch poker mod.
I mean, Ghost of M is the man.
Let's just
For
be
sure.
honest, all right?
All right, so Shenron gonna go into the funnel here. I believe he's in the lead, but it does say It's Really
Ghost,
Hector.
is M your
Yeah,
planet?
Is Shenron right now in the lead?
Ghost to M is like inhuman. I made a joke that he was like a bot because he's everywhere all the time. I'm like, "Do you sleep?"
I think Ghost of M is Vin Diesel from that movie where everything's dark.
Third best mod. Who's better? Lyco.
I didn't say no. I said top 3. I didn't say you were third best. I said you were top 3. I'm not telling you where in the top 3 you fall, Shen. You're in
Pitch
one of the
black.
top 3.
Thanks, man. Illusion.
I want to start a
got my back.
fundraiser for the mods, like maybe like a GoFundMe for all
Jeez.
the Twitch mods.
We would be great at
Yeah.
Pictionary.
Ghost
Or
of
whatever
M
game
taking
that-
3rd, B Schmidt 4th,
what we
M
just
God,
did.
BotLady, Samwise 1, 2, 3.
Pitch
BK
Black was the
Dude,
film.
the Oyster. You see everyone falling in here. We're at 23. You'll recall I set the over under at 22.5. So
Woo!
you kids
we
have
were
a
We
close.
only
sweat.
have 3 mods.
I know we only have 3 mods. That was the joke, Shen. I'm glad you got the joke. A+ joke understanding.
Riddick is the second movie. Man, you guys are good. You guys are pulling that stuff up. huh?
Taehow bringing up the rear.
What is the prize structure?
We got the zoom of shame going on
goodness.
here for Taehow. Get in the box. Get in the box.
Oh man,
And
I
there
just
it
heard
is.
some screaming out there in the poker room, and I got.
Did the bad beat hit?
No. It was not.
You guys, what's it at? Oh, the stream
But I was
deck's
scared
not
that it
working.
did. To be honest.
Mike, can you get the stream deck to go just for a second so we can show them the
What?
payouts here?
It might be Switch.
Everybody type
Yeah,
exclamation
okay.
play right now.
For the record, just so you know,
There it is.
it did not hit. I know there's a little bit of excitement here.
300K. Hey.
What did happen?
I mean,
Exclamation play in the
there
chat
was
right
a lot
now.
of yelling.
BotLady, it sounds like you might know something we don't here.
About what?
I don't know. Well, what's 300K?
The bad beat jackpot. It hit 300K.
It just hit just now?
Well, I don't know if it just hit now.
Oh,
but
is that?
Oh,
Maybe
no.
that's what everyone was
So
celebrating.
it didn't hit. Just so you guys know. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure because this is really important for you
It
guys to
hit
know.
300K. It didn't hit. It hit 300K.
Okay.
Yeah,
That,
it hit
okay,
300K.
that makes okay. I
The
understand.
jackpot
Okay.
did not get hit.
Come to
Just making
Stones
sure.
and try and win the
Yes,
300K
exactly.
jackpot is
That
what we're
is-
saying.
Yeah.
Killer
So
Bird,
it's
give
still
you a huge
open
compliment,
to
by the
everyone
way.
to get a piece of that action.
Rare.
Killerbird says, I just want to say TGB is a natural. He was designed to talk to us about poker. Proud of this gold jacket potting beast. What?
There's like a
sure
90%
he
chance
said
that's a
it just like that,
troll.
too.
So
I
appreciate
agree.
the Killer
No,
Bird.
I think his commentary's been on point tonight.
I
Thank you
have
for
to
joining
do-
us.
Oh, it's been I've it's super fun. I was like so glad that I got invited in, and like Mike was like, yeah, for sure, come in the booth and hang out and do guest commentary. And I was like, Mike, you're the best. Thank you so much. I don't know if I got in this race or not though. I hope I got in the race because I did because I'm in second right now. Nice.
Oh.
All right,
And
you
now in
guys,
first.
hang out. I'll be right
Rigged
back.
for
Don't
TGB.
miss me too
I'm
much.
ready for King's
try not
Full
to.
right there.
No.
Let's
Try
go.
not to.
We're on break. I'm taking a little break.
All right, fair
All right,
enough.
take
Yeah.
a break. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a little bit.
All right, so
Hey, let's chat.
let's chat.
Let's
What's going on,
chat.
dude?
So you stream. What's your
stream.
schedule looking like?
My schedule is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 7 to whenever I bust out of the last tournament. And
So it's
then-
always a tournament stream?
Yes. So
Okay.
I do sit and goes in tournaments, and
love
then whenever I bust, and sometimes that's 10 o'clock Central, and sometimes that's midnight Central, and
Yeah.
hopefully it's midnight Central, and sometimes it's 10. Just, that's how tournaments roll.
Exactly.
And then I stream 5:30 to the last tournament on Saturdays and 3 to the last tournament on Sundays. And I've been working in some Monday streams too, which has been a lot of fun. But I take
Nice.
Fridays off because
Gotta take a
I
day
need,
off.
I
man.
need a day off, and I
Yeah.
can't take Sunday off because that's like the poker day. To the Bracelet has a nice lead here, well out in front of the rest of the field. But here in Convergence, this is a little bit of a runaway here for To the Bracelet.
This is the Gladiator.
but you never know.
Gladiator run here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
but
remember Gladiator from what is it? The 90s, maybe? I think my 90s. You remember
American
that?
Gladiators you're
American
talking about?
Gladiators.
Yeah. Oh, I
Came through.
loved that show.
The women were nice and buff and
I
intimidating.
forget what was the game where they set up the. Chad will help me out, I'm sure.
I like the Q-tip battles.
The joust
Those
was
were
good.
right.
But there was the game, I can't remember what it's called, but they had they were basically baskets. But it was like on a hockey rink. And they had to take the ball, and they had to get
and
it
score
in,
it, yeah.
but they would tackle them. Chat, help me out. What was that?
Amazing.
What was that called? What, I
Yeah,
don't think
that
it was the gauntlet.
Like the gauntlet. Yeah, I was
Was
just
it
gonna
the
say. I
gauntlet?
think it was like that's the big one. You got a regular
Okay.
person, regular sized person, is trying to get past a gladiator to dunk the ball.
1-2 twee. Binking off the marble race, followed
Hey,
by
there we
Stone's
go.
Live Poker. We tried to rig it for ourselves, but we were
1-2 tweet.
we were
Congrats.
unable
Way to
to.
go. I like it.
Powerball. Yes, that's what it was. It was called Powerball. Thank you, chat.
Oh, nice.
Everyone in chat helping me out. Totech, I think that says.
Powerball has evolved.
Low tech. Sorry.
lottery.
Low tech. Cornhusker. Squand. I have very bad eyesight, just to let everyone know. I'm actually, true story, I'm actually legally blind in my left eye. I'm like 300 in my left eye. So I basically only have
wow.
one eye that I see with.
No
It's,
wonder you're
kinda
winking
weird.
at me all the time.
Yeah, that's why.
I
Well,
thought it was because you liked me.
you know.
Well, the truth comes out, and it hurts.
But it's
sometimes.
actually interesting because I tell people on stream that the reason I wear, I mean, it is true that I stream facing the outside, so the sun, I wear sunglasses because I'm staring into the sun, but also they're prescription sunglasses.
So you
that
stream
helps
at
too.
home, right?
Yeah.
So when I stream, I actually all three of us stream, guys. When I stream at home, there's this little window on the top right that shines down on my eyes, and I swear, I want to just quit streaming because it's right there.
There you go.
I hate that.
Richard taking it down there with the king queen, just gets the raise through.
Ooh, what I miss?
A raise.
Luckily, we're in a
And
box
some
here
folds.
where we get no sunlight.
Hey, there it is.
That's what
There
us
you go.
poker players love.
There you go.
No sunlight,
So this is
no
now
environment.
This is now really interesting. So
Just cards.
Richard has a really bad table spot because basically anytime he does anything, Norman has the option to attack, to flat, to just be like, all right, I have 6 deuce, so I'm just gonna let this one go. But also, we've seen Norman do some stuff. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Norman's just like, hey, you know what? Let's 3-bet the 6 deuce and let's put Richard to the test, and it's gonna
Richard
get
has
dicey.
a pretty good table image,
Yeah.
but he also has shown he can fold a good hand, so
Yeah.
he might get bullied.
We see KD opening here, and it looks like this is going to get through, and it certainly does. Richard folding the 7s there, and this is a spot where, like, Richard's in an awkward position because if he flats the 7s and Norman comes over top, then, I mean, what's he going to do? He has to fold the 7s. He just lost, 12, 15 blinds or so, and that
Kirby
doesn't
Was
feel
God says, I still want to see TGB on Survivor. Oh, I love that show.
good. TGB. That would be fun.
I think TGB would get eaten up though by the women.
What?
I hope not.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the poker action. JD.
Okay.
We have an open, no opens yet. Folds to Norman. Norman is going to attack for sure. He probably didn't even need to look at his cards. He's just going to be like, all right, like, we are going to figure this one out here. And we're going to see a flop here, Jack 10 against the Queen 5. 10 ball for Norman. He has top pair with a weak kicker. Probably just going to be a bet and a fold, but you never know. Norman's going to check, see if he can get it done later. They check all the way to the river, and surely Norman's putting in a value bet here on the river, and he does, and I can't imagine that's ever getting called here by Davy Gravy. With just queen high, he lets it go. Norman's certainly in a spot. It's actually interesting when the ace peels off on the turn. Norman's actually not really afraid of the ace because the vast majority of Davy Gravy's aces are just getting jammed pre into the limp.
Yeah, you can put your opponent on a hand there.
Yeah. So like he
Or
has
range,
to
at least.
Yeah, he has to figure Davy Gravy like near never has an ace. And so even though you might look at the board and go, "Oh, well now the ace is a little bit of a scary card." Obviously when he hits 2 pair on the river, he's not scary anymore, but he has to figure there's near 0 aces in Davy Gravy's range on that.
I love how poker players are into. I like to hear what poker players are into, like their hobbies and stuff. And there's a lot of Survivor fans here. I know there's. Let's see. I think it was. There's a lot of pro players that actually play like games like Hearthstone. Have you ever heard of Hearthstone?
I've played Hearthstone.
Very competitive,
Absolutely.
like competitive games like
Oh,
that. I
man.
mean, it's just a lot. We eat it up.
I used to play Rogue Mill deck. Anyone in chat ever
I
play
don't know
some
what that
Rogue
is.
Mill?
I played a ton of Hearthstone. I played since closed beta.
There you go.
Yeah.
We have an all-in situation here. Davy Gravy with the 8s, Joe with the ace queen, and just your standard flip, and we'll see how it runs out. Gutter ball as well for Joe. And Davy Gravy's going to need 2 bricks. That, my friends, is not
Yikes!
a brick.
Not a brick.
That is
Nice hit.
the Nutter Butter card.
I like it.
And
Yeah, Joe's sitting with the nuts.
That's
Aces.
gonna be
He actually didn't want to see that ace, but
Oops.
doesn't make a difference. It's
Yeah.
going to be a knockout
Oh,
for
they're
Davy
all
Gravy.
in.
Played
Yeah.
well.
Oh, it didn't
Nothing
matter.
you can do there with the 8s.
Yeah. I mean, it's time. It's time to try
nice
to make
work.
a move.
hey, good work, buddy.
And
Way
what
to
does
make
he?
it.
What does he make here? Let's check the payouts real quick. What place did he go out?
5th.
Davy Gravy, we love you, man.
Sorry,
You did good.
6th.
Sixth
Love the
place
name.
made $2,302. So if he made one bullet, almost 2,000 in buy-in. We don't know how many bullets these players put in because there are rebuys.
There are. I said before the tournament, I said I was willing to fire 6 bullets into this.
How many did you do?
I just had 1 bullet.
Oh, nice. Not bad. Not bad.
6 bullets. What a beast.
Hey, I mean, you got to have a plan going into the tournament. Like, then your strategy is different. Like, you're going to play different. You're going to play more aggressive if you have more than 1 bullet, you know?
Yeah.
My goal is to come in with at least half a bullet, and then hopefully someone will sponsor me or swap me for the second half.
There you go. That's a good strat. Norman's gonna let the Jack 5 go. Folds to G Dog, who is just. Oh, he is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what the action is. It looks like it was a walk though.
Anyone new in the chat that's not
Maybe.
familiar with Stones Poker here in Citrus Heights, California? We do have many games, a lot of action, no limit and limit games. We have the jackpot, as we mentioned earlier. If you guys are interested in coming down here, it's really we're always having a full. We have a lot of games, a full room.
Yeah, I mean this
Yeah.
room is
And,
this room is
yeah, it's
hopping.
Not
really
only is it
awesome.
full, but they treat their players like
It's really
their
comfortable in here.
family.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, they go above and beyond on service. The tables, the food, the staff, everybody
Absolutely.
is going
Yeah.
to make your experience so good that you want to fly back out here with 9 of your friends.
And your- and your
I mean,
aces-
I would love to set up a 9-person sit and go
that'd be
that
fun,
we're all hanging out.
Are
And
you
your
going to
aces hold
commentate
up
or
here if
play
you
or
come,
both?
so-
Oh, I would play.
Play. He wants to play.
I would play.
He's a player
I
first,
would
commentator
play.
second.
Could I play and commentate? Could I just do
Give
the
him a mic?
commentary at the stream and just be, you know, I'm sitting there
Maybe.
at the table like,
Ask
oh
producer
man,
Mike
this
over
is
there."
this is a terrible play from
Whoa.
you know.
You're going to say that to
from
your
Logan.
opponent?
I presume that this situation
I
is going to
love
be
this.
it's all people that
Safari
are
guy.
are-
Duck tacos at Stones.
I just
are money.
ordered some Safari Guy. They should
Facts.
be in the booth any second. I will show them off to you when they get here.
We see a nice win there for G-Dog with the Ace King, getting it through with the C-bet on the bricked board. So we are now 5-handed. Again, like we were talking about, the chip stacks are such that we could see some interesting things happen between Norman and Richard. They are massive stacks, and Joe has now chipped up, winning that all-in Ace-Queen versus 8s. So it will be interesting how it runs out.
Do you want to come in and say hi? Okay.
Stupid play my part.
Oh.
Spade. The spade.
I don't think we know what that hand is
Yeah,
yet.
we're not there
So
yet. It's
we
a
don't
30-minute
know.
delay.
But okay, we'll
Yeah,
find
we'll
out.
see. Yeah.
Right, you won't know.
We'll make
All
sure
right.
to tell everybody, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys.
Thank you
All
for
right.
coming.
Yeah,
Thank you
very
for
fun.
stopping by.
fun.
Congratulations.
For sure.
Yeah.
Good game, Joe.
Went out.
Oh, Richard.
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 We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know what place, but good game. Thank you for coming.
Lock the door.
Lock the door.
No
Lock the
spoilers.
door.
No spoilers in chat.
No spoilers.
You guys
in
don't. You
chat.
guys don't know who that was though.
Yeah.
Somebody got knocked out in 4th. That's not surprising.
It's okay.
Someone was gonna get knocked out.
It's important he feel like he did good, and he did.
Someone was gonna have to be in 4th.
Yeah.
We don't know who it is.
We don't know. We don't know. Could be one of these guys.
All right. I believe that was another walk there.
Yeah, that's happened the past couple days. I think we should probably just remember that rule. Yeah.
Lock the door.
So,
Lock the door.
it seems
I'm
like
waiting for the
the
lights
people
to
that
go.
people that
Like-
decide that bust
Hashtag
out.
lock the door in chat.
Well, they
Okay.
knock on the windows and
It's
like
okay.
we want you guys to come in here.
It's
That's
okay.
true.
At appropriate times.
At appropriate times.
No spoilers.
It's actually funny because you'll recall yesterday.
Yeah, I remember.
I
that.
knocked on the window as my bust hand was happening.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was a little awkward.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Hopefully I didn't spoil it too much. I did, but
I just made you stand at the door.
It's okay. The great thing about that. So here's the other side of that. Bringing you in and you talking about the hands
Yeah.
that you were in.
Yeah.
That's great.
it's a lot of fun because then you get to hear what the
Yeah.
person's
But it is a
thinking.
spoiler.
what happened.
Oh, yeah.
It is certainly a spoiler.
Pros and
This
cons.
Norman just blasting. He just says, "All right, 1 million. I'm all in."
and he just his opponents just are laughing at this.
I mean, of course that was. I mean, it was technically a 1 million jam, but you know the effective stack there was 16.
Well, he's doing what he's
blinds.
supposed to, put the maximum pressure.
Yeah, and I mean this is a spot
He's
where
not doing it with a bad hand.
no.
You know?
I mean that's definitely standard to jam their 16 effective into the big blind. It's gonna be tougher to play your ace x, your weak ace x suited, than just blasting them and they can't call. So, GG's. Norman, yeah, so he's going to just continue attacking and just keep putting pressure on. And I mean, this is exactly what you want to be doing. You just want to be putting pressure on at the final table as the chip
I
leader
wouldn't
and just
expect anything less from Norman on this.
taking the chips.
Sitting at 1.1 million. He's effectively like 300,000 above.
Katie on the short stack with
Yeah.
154, G-Dog with 198, Joe at 346, Richard sitting at 856, and as we said, Norman at 1.1 million. Huge stack, and he's also continuing to pressure
Yeah, and so this is an interesting spot, right? Because we've got 2 stacks that are about 15 effective. Then Joe has about 28 effective. I'm doing the math in my head, so I'm probably off. So Chad, if
okay.
you're actually
Ballpark
doing the
here.
calculator, and don't read me, chat. Don't read me too hard.
No.
But then Richard obviously has mountains, and Norman has mountains as well. But it does get interesting because Joe actually has a decent chunk of ICM pressure as well.
This is an unusual setup here because I usually see final tables, the stacks kind of even out as you get double ups coming in and out.
Yeah.
So this whole final table, we have seen a huge stack just continuing to put pressure. It hasn't evened out at all.
Now I have to root for Joe.
Now you have to root for Joe.
Well, and I mean, we'll recall, right? Norman came in, I think, with around 900K.
That's true.
So he's basically just chipped up, taking another 200K off the table,
That
put it
huge
into his
bluff,
stack. And
that one pot.
the King Jack, he knew, like, man, that was so sick. He comes in here and goes, no, it was a bluff. For sure it was a bluff. I was getting the guy off 2 pair. And, like, he knew what he was targeting. He knew he could get it through.
Yeah.
And it's an impressive play.
Very. I mean, this is put him in the position to do this.
You know? That's true.
Guys
He's
in
in a
the
dominating position to win the tournament.
Guys in the YouTube chat and in the Twitch chat, just so if you guys are new to the stream coming in here, we're at the final table of the 30K guaranteed last Sunday. It's the final table every last Sunday of every month. We hold this 30K, and it's a buy-in of 350.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun, and we'll be commentating on that every time.
Yeah.
And
so
July
hopefully
4th, we also have an extra tournament as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that called?
It's a 15K. Is it the 8 max?
8 max?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Thank
If we do have a website that you guys can check out if you'd like.
you don't want the fork to fall on the floor. Thank you.
Stone's Gambling Hall.
Here we go. Ready?
Is that
Stone's Gambling
those the
Hall
duck
in
tacos?
Citrus
Yeah, with
Heights.
lettuce.
Oh my
the
gosh.
lettuce
Chat.
chips.
Chat.
The infamous duck tacos.
Let me tell you.
Don't let us slow.
If you come, and we have an all-in. We should probably commentate this. Norman all in, King Jack. Well, Norman's not all in. Katie's all in. King Jack versus the Ace 5. Norman does hit the Jack ball, and so Katie is drawing to the 5-outer. Ace of Hearts already dead in the muck, and so Katie is looking for one of those outs, or he is going home, and he is going to go home in 5th place. But a good run by Katie for sure. Played very well as well. It's been some very high level play. We've seen a lot of good high level play at this final table. It's been very impressive to watch. But now
Katie.
we can advertise
Congrats, man. Way to
the
do
duck
it.
tacos. If you ever find yourself in Sacramento, and don't get me wrong, Stone's Live, Stone's Gambling Hall, it's all wonderful. The tables are wonderful. The people are wonderful. I can't recommend this place enough. But you also need to go and get the duck tacos.
And if you're in
they're so
Las
good.
Vegas, by the way, there's like 5 Sammys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's 3 in the
Oh, yeah.
casinos and there's 2 off strip.
The more you know.
So you can get the same duck tacos in Vegas you can get here.
There you go. But they're also better at Stone's Gambling Hall specifically.
Thank you.
Shout out to Stone's. How's my
It's delicious.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
delicious. It's consistent. So if you go to the one in Vegas, it's going to be pretty much the same.
Why are you
But-
eating my
But
deuces?
But
It's
it tastes
specifically
better in
better.
California.
There you go.
Corn, she's eating them because they're delicious. And I would eat it if I didn't already eat earlier. So.
I had, true story, 2 orders of the duck tacos this afternoon.
Wow. Well, you are
2
6'8",
ducks.
so.
I mean, it was more
Yeah,
that I
make it
didn't
tonight.
eat since, well, I actually had an In-N-Out burger at 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday, but.
Ooh, you made it right on time because that's when they
Is
close.
that where you had the
It was like, yeah, it was like
So-
Is that where you had the
12:30.
He was
Uber
that guy, guys.
I did.
Cool.
I
make this last
played the
burger
sit
for
and go.
this
I had
guy.
fun in the commentary booth, and
Hey,
I was
you
like,
guys-
all right, time to go home.
You guys see this guy with his
promise
golden
me.
blazer?
When you go out to Vegas, you try Cane's. Fried chicken. Best fried chicken in Vegas. Cane's.
I have so much stuff. Like I'm flying in tomorrow morning at 9:20. I'm regging the mini main. I'm meeting the Thirst Lounge crew. Shout out to the Thirst Lounge, buying me into the 1K mini main. And so I'm meeting them at 10, and I'm playing the 1K mini main from like 11 till hopefully like midnight, because obviously I don't want to bust. And then hopefully day 2 bag, etc. Next thing you know, TGB's winning the mini main July 2nd. So
Erase that downswing. Fist pump.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Norman we see on the button. Unsurprisingly, he is putting in the Razorino and we will see what happens here. Joe, though, I think Norman might get some pushback this time. What do you think, JD? A little bit of pushback here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think Joe's going to really stand for this raise.
What are we-
Let's
are
go
we-
for it.
How many handed are we right now?
We are four-handed.
So four-handed queens is like a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Queens are
so
always monsters.
3-bet a Reno for sure from Joe, and then we'll have to see what Norman decides to do. I think he'll probably just let it go most of the time, but it works out well.
Nudist.
Yeah, I will
Thanks.
absolutely say
Thanks.
hi, Justin.
Funny is
Let
one
me
of my
know
qualities.
where you're at, or however we can
You have his number, right?
figure out. I think I sent him an email at some point. I don't think I have his
Says it
email.
right here.
Oh man,
That's his number.
the secret. I have. It's right in the booth. It's in the booth. This is so sick.
It's right in front of him. But
Yeah.
only text. Never call that number, please.
Never call that number.
Never.
Good to know.
Joe's right up
I'll
there.
write
with
that.
the
I'll write that in the
VPIP.
contact
Yeah.
name.
They're both-
Never call. All right,
Yeah.
there
Yes,
we
you're
go.
29, 28% VPIP, so it looks like they're going to be, let me see, what's his chip stack? Joe's chip stack?
300 something, 370, I think.
Wow. Yeah, so he's...
Oh, it's more than that because he 3-bet one of the queens. All right, so he's going to complete here.
He doesn't wanna stay passive.
Richard is not going to probably let this one get to a flop, and he's going to raise. And Joe's going to make the call here with Jack 3, so it'll be interesting to see how this one runs out. I'm expecting most of the time this is going to be a check from Joe, and then Richard bets, and then Joe folds. But you never know. Things can get spicy sometimes, but I can't really imagine that there's another line that either of them will take. There is the bet, and there is the snap folds from Joe.
Nice work. Actually, Richard is actually a different person than I thought he was. I've never seen him before. This actually could be, and I'm here pretty often. He possibly could be kind of newer to the Stones gambling hall. So good for him because he's probably gonna come back.
There you go. I would hope. I would hope
The
so.
goal is for you guys to come in and then come back.
It's a lot of fun. All right, so we see G-Dog here putting in the raise with the ace queen. I didn't realize they have switched to plaques. You were right that they were going to have the
Yeah.
plaques. I
giving
was
you guys-
very confused. It only
yeah.
looked like it was 2 chips. I was very confused. But there was a plaque there. It's a raise to 35K. Joe with the flat with King Jack. And Norman, think about it in the big blind. He's like, can I make a play here? Should I try and make a play? But he's going to let it go.
Norman's having a lot of fun,
He is
just
having a
picking
lot
his
of fun.
spots and
Why not even
you
flat?
know,
just say
and that's
flop?
almost every spot.
G-Dog checks it to Joe, who checks back. The king is basically going to make this a winning hand for Joe. It should probably be a check bet and a fold. I am surprised that G-Dog never took a stab at that one. But obviously at this point, he would just be forking his money over into Joe's stack. Yeah, I expect this one is just going to be let go, and it is.
It's gonna be interesting to see who actually adjusts their range in this final four.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big part of the tournament life here. I'm not huge into tournaments as these two professionals, but I do notice that as I see players at the final table, you can kind of tell who the veteran players are by seeing their play style.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Based on their chip stack, you know, how active they are. Yeah, it's really good to just kind of be knowledgeable of that at the final table.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see how this final four runs out because, clearly we have 4 players that are willing to mix it up. We've seen some creative plays from all of them, so it'll be
Yeah, all
interesting
of
to
them.
see. It'll be interesting to see how this one runs out. Richard with pocket 5s here on the button. He is going to raise it up, and we'll see what happens behind. Ooh, this could get a little spicy here. Norman's coming in with the 3-bet with ace queen. And of course, that's, a standard 3-bet against the button. Richard is just going to let it go, which is probably not the worst idea. Obviously, you can have some flats there.
Yeah.
4-betting's not the best idea. So,
Yeah.
If we're flatting, we're basically set mining. I would have to re-get a count of what the stacks, like what the action was to know if we could profitably set mine there. But I'm sure Richard took a note of, I can't profitably set mine, and so he just lets the 5s go.
Man Illusion, what conspiracy would you like to start? You know, Man Illusion, I think you have like a list of questions.
I like it. I love it.
He's
You
like,
are always welcome in my channel.
oh, I love
to talk about, to ask me any questions.
everything and anything.
Any questions.
Yeah.
Um,
Pull it out of a hat.
raise from Norman. I'm commentating so that I can stall and think of an answer. to the
Aliens
question.
have invaded,
Like-
and they're friendly.
Like currently right now.
No, that's a rumor.
Well,
What conspiracy would you like to start? I mean, he's.
fair enough.
She's
Did
sticking
you
to the
believe
subject.
me?
Stick to the question.
So if the conspiracy is like just something that a lot of people believe that isn't actually true,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna say that if you have kings, an ace will always come on the flop, because basically everyone believes that anyway, and then I can just bluff them off of their kings when there is an ace. Easy enough.
Hey, there you go. Easy peasy.
Joe takes it down there, blind be blind, and G-Dog is now starting to get a little short. He is down to now 12 blinds. The rest of the stacks are reasonably healthy. Joe's sitting on around 38, 37 blinds. And obviously Richard and Norman with some mountains.
You know those gaming chairs?
Yes, I have one.
You have one, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, it's
I was just
beautiful.
gonna ask you. It'd be nice to get the final table as just a round of gaming chairs, huh? Oh,
Would be
sweet.
nice. All in here from G-Dog. I'm expecting this to get through, and certainly Norman might make some plays. He's not gonna call it off with 9-4.
Nerd answer.
Yeah, those chairs are fairly comfortable, though. I will say
I don't
there's some nice
have
chairs at
one,
the final table.
and I think there's some that you can actually listen to music. There's like a pre-installed audio on like the cushioning on some of them, I guess. Do you
Yeah.
have one of those?
I honestly don't know what it is.
I don't think
It's
those
nice.
are that great.
It's nice.
Yeah,
It's
I'd rather put on
comfy.
some headphones, you know?
I can,
Some good
yeah, for
quality
sure.
headphones.
For
Yeah,
sure. I can sit on the chair for my 7-hour grind on Sundays, 8 hours, 9 hours. And
Is that how long your sessions generally go?
on Sundays, yeah, I'll stream
Oh,
from
man.
usually 3 to 11 or so. And here's the interesting part.
It's tough to stream over 4 hours. for
On
me, man.
global, there are no synced breaks, so your boy has gotten very skilled
Oh.
at not leaving the chair for 8 hours, which is not the easiest thing. in
Oh,
the
is
world.
that your poison there? Global poker?
That's the go-to. Yeah,
I gotcha.
that's the go-to.
Good stuff.
So July 4th, we're having a 15K guaranteed 8 max 200 buy-in, everybody. And we have a question here from YouTube. Do any of you have any thoughts on short debt poker?
Ooh,
Oh, they were
short
asking
deck.
for.
Short deck 6+. I have not played any short deck. I think it would be fun. Like, it's a fun variant. I would have to learn it. I'm kind of nitty in these regards, so like I wouldn't just like sit down at a short deck table and like clearly be like a fish in the game.
Right.
I would study it first and kind of figure out
Yeah.
where the edges are and stuff like that. But I mean, any variant that people get into is more fun for the game. So
Yeah, I love it personally. I played it. I went in blind. I didn't know what was happening, and I loved it.
all right.
And
I
I am
love
the
not
person that
knowing what's
tends to
happening.
study everything beforehand, but you know what? There is some fun to just going for it too.
You go for it.
There you go. G-Dog getting it with the 7 on the river, taking it down.
Shoot, what just happened?
JFK, he wants to come back with 8 of his friends for a special sit and go with TGB plus friends. What do you think of that?
Who said
Oh,
this?
I like it.
JFK.
Wait, well, hold up. The
Hey,
king. Hang on.
TGB
The
plus
king is
friends.
talking to me. Hang
Yes,
on.
he is.
I like it.
See, this is where I need to have better vision here.
Looks like Norman with the King Jack spades raising the 50K.
Oh,
We
he
got a-
said I'm not
looks like
hosting
Joey's
some
here
live.
defending.
No,
Oh,
not
no,
like this.
He's looking for a call here.
All right, so we have a raise.
He's sitting on. He's under the. Where is he at? Under the gun.
Raise from Norman. Richard defending
And he
the
did
ace
get called
deuce
by the ace
Sanders.
deuce.
And here we go. This could get fun.
So Norman's liking that the spades hitting the flop there
Yeah.
and in position.
And Richard catches a piece too, so Norman's at least gonna get a bet out of him the vast majority of the time. He
No,
doesn't.
Norman's jackpot right here.
Oh,
He's thinking, can I actually
This-
extract any money from this?
could get dicey.
Yeah, we got some excitement in this room here. We got a high hand.
And we also have some excitement on this hand because that is a 4 flush board.
Oh man, Norman
has the king of spades.
Yeah, he's not liking that too much, but I mean, he's not getting away from this one.
And
check,
it's gonna be a check.
yeah.
Obviously, Norman's
Obviously,
gonna
a
go
little
for the
bet, little value.
I don't see Richard calling it.
No,
No,
I mean
he's
without
not
the
calling for anything.
Just gotta let it go here. I
He
think
might go
That's more
nuts
normal.
and try to raise him off it. I doubt it.
I mean, this is a spot where, so it's actually really interesting, right? When you're on a 4 to the flush board, you have to get really creative with your bluffs a lot of times, because if you don't get, like, there's no obvious bluffs, right? Like, usually you're going to use like an, if the 10 of spades doesn't come, it's very easy to say, okay, I have the ace of spades and some other card in my hand. This is a good spot for me to bluff because I have the nut flush blocker. But when it's 4 to a flush, you have to kind of create your own bluffs. You have to get creative, and you have to say, okay, I'm going to pick this combo as my bluff in this board. And so you just have to kind of figure
Great
out.
bet too.
really
175. That's a
high-level
really
players.
good value
It
bet
is a
there.
good value bet. And Richard's counting some plaques here. This could get spicy. He is looking, and I mean, we had kind of anticipated, I think, just a snap fold, but he has gone in the tank here. I mean, he obviously can't call. He's a pair of deuces, and I mean,
I think he's just trying to go through it and see. But there's really
I
nothing.
love that he
here
thinks
that
about
can-
everything. Richard thinks about everything. It's so good to see people like really thinking through, is this a good spot to bluff? Is this a good, can I get them
Yeah.
to fold here?
yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's and
There's really no. I don't see a call ever happening here.
He jams a decent chunk of a lot of plaques, and Norman snap
he
call
called.
Renos.
Yeah, there it is. He did call. That's very
and
interesting. That took a turn to a different direction I thought was going to happen.
I did not see that one coming, but
Wait,
Norman.
hey, way to value bet that.
what a
man.
bluff. And
Norman.
If you're not bluffing, you're not bluffing enough.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
that's one of those spots where when you get called and when you get snap called by the king of spades, you're like, oh man, like
Yeah.
you
Right.
don't feel
Maybe
good
you
about
could've
it.
got the
No,
queen
you
off,
don't.
But
But
yeah,
it
but
worked
I mean, how many flushes? I mean, we have to recall that Norman's line there. He checked back the flop, he bets turn, and then bets river. Like, he can certainly have a weaker spade, a jack of spades type hand that you can get him off with a bluff. So, I mean, it's easy to say that a bluff was bad if it didn't work, but that's not necessarily why. Like, not all bluffs are good, but just because a bluff gets called doesn't mean that it's bad. If that makes sense.
I mean, he's a thinking player, so.
Yeah, for sure.
Ransom, why call there? Well, Ransom, it says it makes sense to consider a bluff, but just calling. Well, the alternative is shoving, and that's not really a good spot for a shove either. A fold is, I thought, was actually ultimately what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
hey.
looking back at it,
All right. So, I mean, now Norman's just in a spot where he is controlling this table.
oh boy.
Now
he
Richard.
wishes he had his chips back.
Oh, no. Poor Richard. He's gonna have to feel like, all right, like, I wish I had those near 900,000 chips that I had previously, but
Yeah.
whatever. We'll figure it out from here, right? So he's gonna raise it, I believe, on the button.
Cornhusker, I think you're fine. But I appreciate it.
G-Dog with the flats, King, Jack, 9, and this is probably just going to be check bet folds, but we will see how they do it here. There is the check, there is the bet, and one more peek at the cards for G-Dog. We're going to let it go. You never know. Double check. Do I
Hey,
have,
guys,
what,
yeah.
is it ace deuce? I got to double check. True story. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Ready
Ready
for
this
it.
one?
Let's go.
Last night, I'm playing the sit and go. I believe we were four-handed at the time. Jimmy raises my big blind from the button. I flat with, I check my cards, and I have queen deuce of diamonds, and I flat because that's a defense. And the flop is 10-10-3, and so I check, and he bets a third pot like he's going to do with his whole range. And I think about it for a second. I go, did I have queen deuce or did I have queen 3? And so then I go,
Let me look.
huh. If I just check my cards right now, this might look like I'm like checking my cards because I don't know what I have. So we gotta figure out a way to do this. So I whatever, tank a little bit, do the old let me check my cards real quick. And it was queen 3. It wasn't queen 2. So I'm like, oh, well, now I have the underpair on a paired board. This could get interesting. So then I obviously call, and then the turn is another 3. And the hand runs out the way the hand runs out. But I almost folded because I thought I had queen deuce.
I've misread my hand.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens to all of us.
I love that when Phil Ivey misread his hand for the flush, that everyone uses that, right? As
It's a
the
classic.
Right.
He'll
Eh,
never
well,
live it down,
Phil
but you
Ivey
know
did
what?
it.
Does he care?
So
I don't think so.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
We see Joe flopping the Nutter Butter straight
nice
here.
flop for Joe.
And it's an even better turn for Joe, too, because where
Richard
he was
hits
going to have
it.
a tough time getting paid off, he's not going to have a tough time getting paid off with both Richard
Wow.
and Norman having
gotta be doing
a top
jumping
pair
jacks.
here.
So I think Norman actually really likes that king there.
Joe
He's
snap
gonna-
jams.
Yeah.
Joe has played great.
yeah.
It's an awkward spot for Richard now because
Yeah.
he has Norman still to act behind, but he also has top pair,
Can you get away
so...
from two
Oh wow,
pair?
he's calling
He
us.
has two
Oh
pair.
no.
Oh, he has two pair, you're right.
Nope. Nope.
I don't think I can get away
I
from
think he
two
just
pair.
called.
certainly
Yeah.
can't.
Norman's getting away from this one.
Norman definitely get away
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't see any value in really just calling. It
No,
looks
he's
like they have
heads up
solid
right
hands.
here if he's got it made.
It's true.
And he gets one all in, probably getting rid of another player. That's always a
It's
plus.
true.
So
And he has to
let's see
feel
what
like,
happens.
I mean, with he bets, Joe snap jams, and then Richard semi-snap calls. Like, how often is just a blank king good at that point? We know it's not. It's tough to come up with specific bluffs on this board, because the bluffs are going to have to be like Queen Jack, I guess. But, like, that seems ambitious. Jack 10, Queen 10. But they're all gutters. A lot of times people aren't going to bluff jam with gutters.
Right. Yeah.
So, Richard is going to need the king ball or the six ball. We know there was already a king in Norman's hand, and that is not one of those outs. So, Joe gets the double. Richard is going to be very short now, and
Not the run out he was hoping.
not the run out he was hoping for sure. What else we got going on in chat?
Hey, Chad, if you guys are new here, we have some really great action here. We're down to the final. Were we 3 now or 4?
Still four.
Still 4. Okay.
Richard's got
All right.
2 blinds.
Still got it. Okay. All right.
But
We have here. Where are you coming from again? Where are you flying in from?
I flew in from Champaign, Illinois.
Champaign, Illinois. We
Flew
have
up to
Mr. The Golden Blazer in the house. If we have any Golden Blazer fans, or wait, trolls in the chat, let's go ahead and see those Blazers. And we also have BotLady here. This is probably what, your 3rd stream now, 4th stream?
I don't know.
You don't know. She's a veteran now.
She's a vet.
Yeah. And I'm here to support these guys in
What?
everything that they do.
What are you talking
And
about?
we're
show love to
we're
you
here to
guys.
support you.
Oh.
You're a Twitch streamer too, aren't you?
Yeah.
I am.
There you go.
I am. We're all streamers here.
This is
This is,
the mecca of Twitch streaming here. You got to make your way to Stone's Lab.
Oh, Man Illusion wants to know where to buy a golden blazer.
I got it off
Mm.
the Amazon.com. You might not have heard of it, but you can find anything there.
They only own the world.
Golden
Basically
Blazer 2,
anything
Man
you
Illusion.
want.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
We
fill-in?
have a raise from Norman. Joe putting in a call. Richard is going to be at risk. And I believe this is going to be 3 ways.
Yeah, he's way behind.
Yeah, Richard's going to need a lot of help here.
Unfortunately, his opponents both have decent hands.
Yeah. But if he can find the 6 ball, could get him at least a survivable stack back. We'll see what happens here on the flop. I mean, that's 2 of
You're
them.
gonna pray.
Halfway there.
Club. Oh, no sweat there.
He is down to the 6.
The 10 comes and pairs
Oh,
up
yeah,
Norman.
that's gonna knock
and the
out.
4 in the river for Joe makes the set.
And
I like
Joe can get some value from Norman. You have to imagine that Norman might have to find a call here at the 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, Joe's betting into a dry pot here, so, like, it's going to feel really weird for Norman. Like, are you seriously going to try and, like, bluff when, like, we're getting a free ladder here? Like, there's no bluffs, right? But, like, you're not value betting an 8. Like, what in the world? And look, he's, like, literally, like, what in the world are you doing? Like, this makes no sense. And he does just get rid of it. And Joe's going to go, no, see, I was like, I was trying to get, there was some value there maybe.
Hey,
Here we
nice
go. Got the
work.
handshake. Richard with 4th place.
Richard,
money.
nice work, buddy. Richard is on his way to come visit us
And that is,
on the monitor.
$3,348.
But I think he has left already.
$3,000 bucks for over 3,000 profit. Hopefully there for Richard.
There you go. Good run.
Nice work.
It was a good run.
3,348.
Yeah, and the buy-in was 350, right?
Hey,
Yep.
nice work.
350 buy-in.
$2 short of 3,000 profit if he only put 1 bullet.
It's true. G-Dog, ace king here under the gun. He is going to raise it up. Get one of those plaques in play. Put it on the felt. Let's get it going.
G-Dog represent Notre Dame in the hoodie.
There you go. I can't imagine that Joe is going to find anything creative here with the 9 deuce. He does not. And now Norman's like, all right, let's figure out that.
Yeah.
So now this
Norman's
is a
trying
spot.
to realize, okay, we're final 3 now.
Yeah.
Let's see, how am I going to adjust here? I have not as significant of a chip stack over Joe. They can definitely, Joe's the only one that's really worrying him. G-Dog, oh no, he's got some work to do.
He's got some work to do.
He's still in it.
He is. He
He
still has
is.
chips.
Yeah. He's
so-
not super short.
No, I mean he's like he's in a spot where he needs to luck box a few hands and find a few spots, but like by no means is he out of it. So this is going to be really interesting now for Norman, because what Norman's basically going to do is he's going to probably take the next 5 to 10 hands and try and figure out how exactly these two are going to play this 3-handed. Because if you don't have a lot of experience at final tables and you don't have a lot of experience playing, super short-handed poker where the ranges get really wide and things are very different, if you're just kind of used to playing, 9-handed ball, your range can end up being like awkwardly tight. And so I think we're going to see Norman experiment with a lot of stuff.
I love it. I can't wait to see it.
That would be my guess as to what's going to happen. But
Please
let's
put
see
your
how it goes.
predictions in chat right now. Who's going to win of the top 3?
I like it.
And no
Norman, Joe, or
TGB
G-Dog?
answers, okay?
I mean, you can put me if you want.
Okay.
I
sure.
busted 30, but if you wanna throw a blazer in chat just for rip TGB, that's fine too.
All right, if I see someone vote for TGB, hey, wait, help, okay,
You're
come
killing
on.
the commentary, TGB. That's a win.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm just having fun. That was like when I started streaming a year and 4 months ago. First of all, I never thought in my life that I would ever be like in this spot where I'm sitting here like in Sacramento hanging out with you guys,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
having a
We're
blast.
chilling. Yeah.
Yeah, me either. Yeah,
like,
me either.
This is the coolest. But like, I don't know. Like my goal from like day one was just like, just have fun.
Yeah.
It's
Just have
getting
fun.
warm and fuzzy in here, guys. I can feel it.
There you go. It's the easy way to do it. So this is actually funny. G-Dog doesn't have to feel like pocket sevens are bad on this board, but he actually is drawing dead because everyone else has a 7.
Yeah.
And so
Dealer, what are you doing to us?
it is obviously Joe that is going to have the best hand at the river, barring a 5 ball, which I can't imagine that Norman is going to float this near ever when we do have a bet and call in front, but we'll have to see how it runs out. He does get rid of it, and so this is a spot where G-Dog has to feel a little weird. Like, if it checked through on the king, and I have a 7, and we're 3-handed, so like...
But he's so short, like, it's either, am I going to fold here
Yeah.
or
I mean, yeah.
jam it? I don't know.
We'll have to see.
Shark bait, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, I thought those chips were coming across the line. He's not got him there yet, but
They
he has
faked
to.
me out, too.
He has to think. Like, could Joe maybe even just be like doing this as like a spade bluff, or like certainly I like ace 5 of spades can be here, ace 4 of spades can be here. There's 7-5 of spades can be
He's
here
been
very
so
easily.
quiet, by the way. Like, we haven't seen him in a lot of hands.
It's true.
He laddered up by just folding.
Yeah, and it looks like he's gonna get rid of it, which is gonna work
Wow.
out for him.
Good fold.
It is.
He's playing good.
Man, it's tough. It's crazy how many people are hitting the flop here.
It is.
Yeah, the dealer is definitely trying to deal out some cold deck stuff going on, but they're getting away
It makes
from
it interesting because the thought processes here is if you hit a flop, then the chances of other people hitting the flop
3-handed is so low.
It's rough. So yeah, you want to try
Yeah.
to take a stab. You kind of have to think that you have the best hand hitting a flop with a
Yeah.
pair.
Yeah.
Especially
G-Dog now with
top
8-5 offsuit.
Getting rid of that now.
Folded that.
This
Ace-8,
is-
that's
this
a nice
is
hand.
Always
to
an
make a play.
interesting spot here, right?
Yeah,
Because
I like
so
it.
Joe and they're about 100 blinds deep. So I mean, this is obviously a very deep matchup between Joe and Norman. But they also have just basically a free ladder to wait for in G-Dog. They're obviously neither of them want to play a big pot while they can get the easy ladder to second. But if you study your spots, you know that this is a spot where you can also be pretty aggressive and try and get people off hands and do stuff, because when the other person doesn't want to bust third,
Right.
if you can put pressure on the person,
Right.
then you can get some folds that you probably shouldn't get.
G-Dog's going to be folding a lot of hands here, waiting for a premium hand.
Yeah, I mean, G-Dog is, his range should be, I mean, any ace needs to get in.
Yeah.
you
I would
know.
just be putting it in pre-flop personally at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's, I believe, 12 effective, so, I mean, he's going to be pretty wide. We'll have to see how Norman plays it against him, small versus big, though.
I predict a king queen will be the shove.
Wow.
Yeah. How about you?
Uh,
Over under on card value.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to go ace high or better. Can I
Okay.
pick that? is that
or
too
or
nutted?
king. Yeah. I mean, that's really the other alternative, right?
Yeah.
For my king
that was,
queen.
that was
right?
a little.
So,
all
right,
right,
bet.
I'll go ace jack plus.
Okay. All
Ace
right.
jack
Okay.
plus.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
I'll
take all the aces.
you have ace jack or
I
low.
like it. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Yep. I got
I think
it.
it's going to be a pair.
You like a pair?
I'm going
All
with the
right.
pair.
So you're
I
even
like
higher
it.
than I am.
Yeah, she's going for it. So she's going for all
He's
pairs.
I'll take $1, Bob.
Man, don't I get like odds to this? King queen. I only have one specific hand. Should I say suited?
You have 16.
Send
you have one hand, but
it.
you have 16 combos.
Send it. I think that's like 2-1 beers right there. If I win it.
All right, Norman getting rid of the 9-6, and we see a jam. It's 9-6 suited. That's the under.
Whoa.
That
That's
is
the under.
That's the
Nobody
big
saw that
under.
one.
And
Holy
Joe's
cow.
snapping off with
Can
the
you
ace
blame
10.
him, though?
Oh, and
Maybe
it
he's just trying to
went.
steal the blinds
I mean,
there, yeah.
I think 9-6 is certainly
Hey,
a
well,
profitable
he's
jam.
thinking I have outs.
Yeah. I mean, G-Dog, I think that's a very fine jam with
Yeah.
9-6 suited. It's a jam I would make for sure, and
Yeah.
it's just unfortunate
like
Joe
it.
wakes up with the ace
There's
10.
a lot of possibilities here. Let's see what
And
happens.
that's a 9-ball.
Hey, there's a
69. 9 coming in.
I like it. He has a backdoor flush draw too.
He's at 74% to win on the flop.
So he could be drawing to a better hand. See what happens. Clubber? No.
Oh,
Yeah.
the open ender, though, gets added
Yikes.
too. So
Exactly,
that's a
yeah.
lot of
So a little bit of a
outs.
sweat. Yeah, it's a lot of outs, a lot of overs. 10, ace,
King,
anything that connects that straight.
The jack,
Negative.
though, pairs it off. No good.
Nope.
And a
Hey, way to
200K
go,
pot. Now he's not on life
G-Dog
support.
survives and lives to play another hand.
Look at the breath. Did you see the breath he took there? Like,
He did.
Relief.
I got
I
it.
mean,
Yeah, I've
I
held
got
my
it.
breath.
Look at this. Look at this. He's still. Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh, we got it. We
Hey,
got it with the 9-6.
G-Dog, it's a tell.
Like,
you're
he didn't
happy,
breathe
buddy.
the whole
You're happy. Don't give that
time.
away.
I don't think so.
Don't
until
let him
the
know
turn,
that you're
until the river.
vulnerable right
And then he
now.
was like,
I don't think so.
yeah.
I think literally we might need oxygen masks
Yeah.
to be depleted from above
He had to snap
sometime
with
Yeah.
at
ace
the
10.
Stones Live
It
final
pops
table.
down from the
Yes,
camera,
sir.
like, up
Aaron
above.
Darn, yes.
Please secure your own mask
will get
before helping
checks.
others.
Did it hurt your head when you bumped it yesterday?
No.
Okay.
I've hit my head on so many things in my life.
Because
It's
you're so
perfectly
tall. Yeah.
It's my
I've had
it's my own
to,
fault for being that excited.
I think that's the first time I've seen that happen on Stones Live, where someone stood up and shook the whole thing.
Oh, I can't wait. That's gonna be all over Twitter once I
Oh
get the
my.
opportunity to get everything going.
And
What
the
were we
pain
saying?
in his face.
1,000 likes?
No.
Dude, how
don't know,
how
I've
much
never
of the
gotten
pain
100.
did you have to hold in to just to show save face, I guess? Or was there pain?
Oh no, it was fine.
No pain?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's like America's
good.
Funniest Home
If-
Videos,
if,
you know?
if
Because
I
me,
if
this
I-
is the face that I make when I
Okay.
hit something,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, there you go.
You make
That's what it
faces?
is. Yeah. Huh?
You purposely make
Neutral faces.
Okay.
Purposefully neutral poker face.
faces? Okay.
Joe with the Rays, Norman gonna
Yeah,
flat
he
it.
did
This is the battle
shake the
that
whole
we
thing up.
were excited about. They both get a piece of this, but Joe obviously has a much bigger piece with the flush draw, with the top
Ooh.
pair. It's a bet that Norman's gonna have to hang on to, though. I'm sure. And he
Yeah.
snap calls.
I like
Oh,
it.
I think Joe's going home.
Man.
I'm sorry,
Well,
Joe, but
no, I mean they're way too deep for this to get in. I think it's gonna be bet raise call.
oh, you're right. These are the two deep stacks.
I mean, like it's gonna
Joe's
cost.
really liking
it's
his
gonna
hand.
cost.
I mean, that's a
it's
really
gonna cost
good
Joe
hand.
a lot.
This is gonna get crazy.
I mean,
But-
top pair with the draw to the clubs, and Norm's really liking his
Are we
hand.
gonna go raise here on the
No,
turn?
I think that this goes raise call.
I don't know.
I think it's a pretty big.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, I'm surprised that Norman just flats that.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, Norm's liking his hand. I think he's gonna stick to it. I think he's gonna call
Whoa.
any hand here, any bet.
Not go for max value. I would go for the raise here.
So.
Oh my God, this is gonna be. He's gonna repump
is-
it. He's gonna pump it.
I mean, the
It's an
the
interesting
river's a
spot.
brick.
Flat. Ayy.
I actually really like the flat from Norman. People
Wow.
I do
people
like it
in
too,
chat
yeah,
might
for
go,
sure.
don't you think you can get a raise through? Like, what are we getting called by if we
right.
raise there?
That's true.
Like,
But don't you raise a turn?
that was my thought.
Yeah.
Is that if we raise turn, he's gonna flat, and then we can
Yeah, I
get
think there's some
another
value
bigger
there
bet
on
on
the
the
turn that you
river.
could
I
have
want to go
raised,
for
but
max
but-
value right
Hey,
there.
you
By the time we get to the river, we're not getting
I think he
called
was
by
wait-
anything.
he was wanting
Yeah.
that bet on the river from Joe.
Yeah, the
so.
turn was the place to get it.
Also,
He's either getting a call in a turn or a bet off of Joe on the river.
the other thing to keep in mind too, right? When we're blind versus blind, it's obvious. Again, this is the tricky part of commentary. It's easy for us to say, "Oh, he
Yeah.
has a flush draw and
Right.
top pair. You can
Right.
get more value." But when you're Norman and you're like, "Well, maybe he has, he can triple barrel this spot and just bluff it down, and I can just,
Right, make the
call
value
down
there.
very easily."
Yep.
That option seems enticing as well.
Flat to turn the extra value on the
It's
river.
definitely
Yep,
gotta
you
have
got it.
weigh on their mind the ladder too.
That's true.
Or
G-Dog
get the
defending
value on the turn
with
there.
the queen 8.
Cornesque.
Joe thinking about it, gonna put in the C bet, it looks like, and this one should work out. Basically always.
So how much did Joe lose on that last pot?
It looks like it was around 200.
Not a lot. Oh, he's still doing great.
Yeah, he's still healthy. It's gonna cost him a little bit, but he's still plenty healthy. All right.
Did you end up staying up a little bit later last night?
Yeah,
after the
we went and
tournament?
played Pygao after, and
Did you really?
won a little. Yeah, here at Stones. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I hung out with TGV
Pygao,
for a
Yeah.
minute.
It
You
was
did,
fun.
huh?
We're
Okay.
having a lot of fun.
Cool.
We have a complete from G-Dog. Joe gonna take the free look, and this is always an interesting, like, blind man. I love battling blind v blind and figuring out, because the ranges are so wide. You have to get so creative with a lot of spots. Like, this is a spot where Joe could fire twice and probably get him off a lot of stuff, and we do see a bet from Joe, and it's probably gonna be a call, I imagine, from G-Dog. But now, when you have 7 high, if you brick, this is like your nut blast spot. Right? So, like, you, like, blast the river and hope it gets through. And we'll see if that's what he decides to do. Of course, if G-Dog fires in a blocker bet, which he does now, Joe just gets off it pretty easy here. He's never,
There
obviously,
you go.
calling with 7 high.
No.
And the stack sizes are such that a jam isn't really going to work out.
Cornes asks or says, Pygao, haven't played that in years. Not even sure I remember how to play it. Well, you guys, that's the dark side. And for you guys, you know what the dark side is.
The
Stay
pit?
away from there.
I
The
love,
pit.
I love,
Yeah.
love the pit.
Yeah.
Pit's a dangerous place. Many a poker player has lost their bankroll in the pit.
Okay, I don't go that crazy. I don't bring my whole bankroll to the pit.
The pit does that to people.
All right.
Pygao is pretty chill.
Yeah, BotLady was loving
Still
the
part of
Pygos.
the dark side.
Heart of the dark side. Joe, it looks like, is raising, and Norman just gonna let it go. That was a pretty big raise, so it'll be interesting to see what their sizings are, what their complete range looks like, what their raise range looks like. There's a lot of interesting stuff that goes into shorthanded
But
poker.
Norman has been doing a good job of just slowly gaining chips.
Yeah. I mean, obviously turning the 7 helped a lot too.
That helped a lot, but he could have made maybe more,
Yoda.
maybe more. Than that. But
I
he's
mean,
pretty happy just slowly going up here.
Yeah. for sure.
Why not?
I mean, he came in as the chip leader, and when you're the chip leader on final table, you want to convert.
Yeah.
Man, the feeling of being a chip leader at the final table.
Yeah. How
Final
do you
two,
get to
final
be
three?
what is the strategy in a multi-table tournament?
Easy
To
answer.
What is
Win
it?
hands.
All of
Win
them.
hands.
Win flips.
Don't lose.
Don't fold the
Win
winning hand.
things.
Win
Yes.
bluff.
Win. Yeah. If you
Bluff.
don't
Let's
have
just
the
throw
best
out,
hand,
like,
and your
terms.
opponent can't. Yeah. GTOs.
VPIP.
ICMs.
Let's just start saying acronyms. Go.
Yeah.
JDR.
PFRs.
Wait. Okay, sorry.
MTTs.
WWSD. Anyone?
TG.
Anyone? WWSD?
What would Jesus do?
I don't know.
No.
No.
Win when.
No.
Oh, now I'm.
I think
is
that was
it-
the
is it
original.
Win when. Showdown? Is
What
that
was
now?
they do?
I'm messing up my own thing. I think it's win when
Wait,
showdown.
how did you
I've
say
had too
no
much
and
Red
not
Bull to
have the
answer this question.
Look, I thought
TGB.
because there's
Closer to the mic,
there's
closer to the mic. There you go.
two. There's WWSD and then there's I think it's WTST, which is
I don't know. I'm getting PTSD from this conversation.
win
Yeah, what?
win to
WSOP?
showdown and
What?
win at showdown. But I might have my acronyms mixed up now.
Yeah, make
it's
sure
been a
you-
long time since I went through my database of hands, guys. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry.
Only a SGH.
It was like 40% back in the day.
WWE.
Check that in PT4. Run that through your leak busters. All right, G-Dog gonna let the Queen 5 go. Joe is going to all of chat's like, TG, what are you even talking about, dude? Joe is going to, it looks like, complete here, which I like. So you should be mixing in some limps. You should be mixing in, you should be mixing your range here, blinds, V blinds. This is going to be a spot that I think could go bet raise.
Yeah.
I would really love to see a raise from Norman, and he's going to get checked too and just bet it. And that's obviously fine as well. I think you absolutely have to be aggressive on that flop with the gutter and the flush draw.
Yeah. Wasn't that the straight flush draw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually disappointing. I would have loved to see the 3 of hearts come off.
I mean, I get where, that's not going anywhere. He was all over it.
There you go. All right. Still 3-handed here. I'm very excited to see the heads-up match, too. Heads-up play is a lot of fun. 3-handed play is a lot of fun. I really love short-handed poker. I really maybe it's just the sit and go in me, but oh man, give me three-handed poker. Give me heads-up
So you're a
matches.
jackpot,
I love
man.
short-handed poker.
Do you ever reg for those just heads up
Unless
tournaments?
the blinds are. The
Not
rake
really,
is
no.
Super high.
Yeah, I mean that's
Cash
always
game
something
player
to do.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6-handed the cash game. I love that. That's like
Oh,
that's
some
the
max
meta
cash.
for that. I like it.
Give me that wide.
The
3-bet
6-man
bluff
tournaments,
range.
MTTs. You guys ever enter into those short-handed?
I don't know if there's any American sites that offer like short-handed tournaments, like 3 or 4-handed tournaments.
Oh, 6-handed?
6-handed, sure, yeah, for sure. All right, Norman coming in with the bet here. This is just
getting creative here.
This is just a hey, you know what? I think I can win this pot if I bet because
I really
think
like
you're gonna
that.
fold.
I think Norman has actually evolved over the years. He's just become more of a beast. Just recognizing like the circumstance, the situation
He's
in.
picking good spots.
He's
I've noticed,
really
yeah.
just narrowing it down to just picking really good spots.
Yeah, I mean it's a spot where Norman has to feel like okay, like if I just keep aggressive, I can just keep my foot on the gas, and the vast majority of the time, I'm just going to enter heads up with a 2-1, 3-1 chip lead and convert that 60, 70, 80% of the time.
Man, because like when you're sitting at 1.6 million and you're looking at like any face card, I mean, come on, you can take a stab at it.
Especially
That's the mentality that Norm has. I really like it.
I really like
Because a
doing
lot
it
of
with
the hands,
king
you'll be
eight or
pushing a
an
lot of the
ace.
hands off.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if Norman just starts opening near 100% of his range on the button.
Exactly.
Because
yeah.
he's raising into Joe's big blind,
Yeah.
which means that like he's going to be pot committed against G-Dog anyway, so G-Dog's just going to have to find a hand, and then, Norman will have 30%, and like largely he can lose a flip to G-Dog or even like a 65-35, and like it literally doesn't
I like
matter
his
to
spot
his
too
stack.
that he's after G-Dog. I really like that actually.
For sure.
It makes it awkward a little bit.
Yeah. So we get the jam here from G-Dog, and it's not going to be a call from Joe. We'll see what Norman has.
What a jam with 8-6.
Oh,
Can we please see
beautiful.
8-8-6 come out?
Oh,
It's a snap call, like
Nice
no
work.
hesitation.
Is this 3-handed, or is this Norman gets to pick the cards that he
Wow.
gets
What a-
from the deck?
Isn't this the worst feeling when you try to steal? and
Norman
it's-
summons the cards
Yeah.
and they appear.
Is that how that works?
Watch this.
I have to.
Hey,
Alien,
let's get it.
the king of clubs, please.
3%.
Yeah,
3%.
Gonna need to be a runner.
Ooh, no.
That is not
Bricks.
Oh,
the
that's gonna be a
runner that we were looking
And
for.
4G dog,
Hey,
good
let's get
game,
an
my
ace game.
friend. Bad time to pick it, but we
G-Dog.
get where you were coming from. Trying to
GG's
steal
for
those
G-Dog
lines,
in
and
the
he's
chat.
out.
Hey, nice work, buddy.
In third place, $4,813.
That is a
work,
6
buddy.
score for G-Dog. Good stuff right
Way to
there.
make it.
I'd love to have gone out third in this tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
1,500 more than the last.
that's
That's
true.
a big ladder. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
what
right.
can you buy with
Jinx.
$1,500?
Bam.
Hey, there's a lot of fist
What
bumps
can
going
you-
over there.
Is he FOMO fist pump?
Did you
Bam.
just ask what you can buy for $4,400?
How about 1,500?
$1,500.
Yeah.
A TV?
You can buy my.
That's a buy-in for a nice tournament.
You can buy my computer. Actually,
Hey.
my computer was about that.
Yeah,
much.
computers
Oh,
are
really?
pretty expensive.
Stream,
That's
yeah.
a nice computer.
The
I
streaming
know.
has
Yeah.
ended because the computer is no longer here. Because he sold it for $1,500.
Oh, I'm sure.
JDR.
I'm sure Stone's Live's computer setup is far more than the amount that
Oh,
I
I
yeah,
meant
but
your
back
stream.
here we have like
Stream.
10 computers.
Oh, yeah, my
yeah.
stream is now,
Because
yeah,
you
no,
just
my
sold your
stream.
computer to me for
Oh.
$1,500.
Behind this wall, you guys.
Does anyone have $1,500?
It was actually only 1,300.
Mike
so
and Michelle, can we get a
made
shout out for
$200
them? The producers back here, Mike and Michelle,
Yes, they're killing it.
doing all the hard work and getting none of the credit. Can we just give them a shout out right now? Mike
give
and
them all the credit
Michelle,
right now.
thank
There
you
you go.
so much. Behind this wall with all the computers.
Hey, the players decided to agree to a two-way chop. Norman, thanks a lot
Two-way
for
chop.
playing, man. Joe, chopping it up
There you
also.
go.
Oh,
I like it.
what
Is
happened?
it even split?
It's over?
So Norman's gonna get a little extra.
Negotiate it, yeah? I would
Yeah,
think so. I
looks
think
like
Norman's
it.
gonna try to negotiate for
I
a
would.
little bit extra.
I would. I'd be pressuring my opponent. Like, I have 3% more chips than you.
There you go.
Norman
on
can
in.
actually come on in, man.
Yeah, bring it on in.
Hey.
Yeah.
should be wrapping up, going to bed.
Yeah,
Norman, come on in, come on in.
Congratulations, buddy.
Dude,
Nice
congratulations.
work, man.
We were.
Where's the camera?
Good to see
We
you.
were missed by.
Camera's right there. Where's the
All right,
camera?
so,
He says.
So Norman, my first question
Where's my
is
audience?
that last bust hand we saw where you called off with the ace king. Are you able to just like pluck the cards out of the deck?
You guys want to
just
participate
like,
in
oh,
this
like, I would
marble
like to call off with
string?
ace
Hit
king
the
this time.
exclamation point.
Well, against
Play.
Greg,
As we
you
talk
know,
with Norman
the
here.
guy that busted in third.
Yeah.
I run extraordinarily well against him, and he knows that, so he's always runs up against me. So
Yeah.
the ace king was gonna happen because just like I ripped it into him when he opened, and I had ace king, he knew I had ace king because
Yeah.
he even called it. You have ace king. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
He
Right.
called it. I don't know if the mic picked it
No,
up.
I mean I could see him talking to you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, and
Yeah.
he folded it. He said he had a pair.
Okay.
I ripped into him, so
Yeah.
ace king is just
Ace
not
king.
I want to
Nice
go
work,
back
buddy.
to the 7-4 hand that you played against. Yeah, you
With your set, you hit your 7. on
you
the
hit
turn.
you turn the trips.
Yes.
And I wanna know your thought process as far as, so we see Joe, bets flop, bets turn, bets river.
Yeah, top pair.
He had top pair.
Norm, could you go closer to the mic
Yeah.
or pull it closer
Yeah.
to you so you can? There you go.
Yeah.
Why didn't I raise the river?
No, actually, I actually, all three of us agreed in the booth that raising the river seems bad because if you raise river, you're not really getting called by. We didn't think
much.
you were ever getting called by a jack, and, there wasn't
there's no
anything.
reason to take chips away from Joe when Greg is the guy that you want to knock out first.
Sure.
And so I see him, and I didn't want to bloat the pot in case he did somehow flop the set, and then the 7 gave him a full house to give him
Sure.
an opportunity to re-raise, open the betting,
Sure.
and he would fold on anything weaker than top pair, top kicker.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
that's why it's just a flat.
Yeah.
Both ways.
Was there any thought to raising turn when you hit the trip?
I thought about it,
Yeah.
but I wanted to keep the hand disguised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a monster hand. Yeah, there. On the screen,
Yeah,
so.
because there's not. There was going to be some value on the river. I thought by just flatting, and then he would fire again on the river on a safe card.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense because you're also keeping his flush draw bluffs in, and there's all sorts of stuff that you might get another barrel that you're not going to get.
And knowing what I've seen of him, if I raise the turn, he may call, but he may fold. But if he calls, he's going to check the river.
Right.
So I lose some value because he's not going to get a river bet in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're probably betting river, and then he's probably folding his
so
jacks. You
there's
think?
not much else to
Yeah.
get from him.
Makes sense. Makes sense. It was a very impressively played hand. We were very impressed. I think with your with Norman's final table play. Just generally, I think. How do you feel about the way you played it?
Well, I mean, leading up to the final table, I was just running really good up
Yeah.
to that. The final 3 tables, I was just running over everybody else. So then,
I loved it, man. I loved your aggressive play there.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
once
then-
you had,
then
like
the
you were
guy-
saying,
the-
yep.
The guy to my left early on, I mean, somewhere about middle of the final table, he actually flattened my
Gravy?
flattened with jacks.
Yeah, Davy Gravy.
Right. So when the ace came, I had to represent the ace, and that forced him to fold it. But, if he in retrospect, he's mumbling, I should have raised you pre-flop, and would have folded. But then you know, I didn't get the opportunity. He would have taken my opportunity away to represent the ace when the ace hit on the flop.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys are noticing this, but Norman is still in character with his hand on his left shoulder.
Oh no!
Yeah,
This
there's
is my,
no
like,
more reading.
This is
There
my
you go.
resting
We are-
resting position at home too.
We aren't
like it.
looking
We're like,
for the. We're not trying to get
hey,
any
Norman,
live
ball
tells
in.
right now, Norman.
No, it's like I mean, like
I got some napkins here, Norman. I got some napkins. What do I have? What do I have?
No, this is just like my comfort zone. When I have a stack, I can just
Yeah.
open 2x, 3x every, you know,
Yeah.
if it folds to me, and you know.
There you go.
Yeah, a little history
Absolutely.
too. With Norm, I've actually, when I first started playing with him, he was I saw him on the cash game more often than the tournaments, but it looks like it's flipped around a little bit, huh?
Most of the time you see me on the cash game is because there's not a tournament going, or
Exactly my point.
Or I bust the tournament.
That is your primo, right? Go to
Yeah, I
is
mean-
tournaments. Yeah,
tournament is
I think you're built
what
for
I
it, bro.
put in more hours
Yeah.
on, I guess.
Yeah, and you're honing in your craft, like you're getting better every time, man.
Try.
Hence, you know, victory
Try.
tonight, man. Congratulations, by the way.
Congratulations.
Time
Yeah?
to get some Z's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get some Z. You sure you don't want to grind the jackpot?
You can, yeah.
No.
There's
true,
a nice
it's
4-8 limit
300K.
over here. Yeah.
4-8 is just gonna kill some people.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, you guys have a
Hey,
good night.
Norman.
We
good to
appreciate
see
you coming
again,
in. It
brother.
was
All right.
awesome, and congratulations.
Take care,
Yeah,
man.
man, of course.
What's your name?
Brian Frenzela, the
Brian.
Golden Blazer is what.
Golden Blazer.
Yeah.
You
Blazer is
were
what-
on the sit and go yesterday.
I was on the sit and go.
Congrats
Yes.
on that too.
Thank you. Yeah, I
All right.
appreciate it. Have a good night, Norm.
See ya, Norm.
All right.
He's a great guy.
He
He's
is.
fun to play with.
It was. I mean, it was a incredibly impressive final table
Yeah,
performance.
absolutely. Hey guys, we were doing the marbles. I'm sorry that we weren't. We were listening to some of the plays that Norm was going through and kind of expressing what his thought process was through his hands. And so, you know, we kind of just wanted to hear that. But if you guys want to do one more marbles, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let's see.
Get the marbles.
What do we
Get the
hear? We're
exclamation
waiting to
point
start.
plays.
Yeah, this will probably be. I think we're locking in our last.
Bot
I
Lady's
think
back.
I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I was just
What's
sitting right
up,
outside the
Bot
door.
Lady?
Hi.
Yeah. Hey, didn't you say that at some point we offer some sort of giveaway for the on certain streams? Bot Lady, did you hear something like that? I think I heard something like that.
Ghost M, can you confirm that we at some point had some kind of prize? I'm not sure. I think he said no last time.
No, for the marbles. Okay, I just want to make sure.
You get the pride of winning, which
Pride
which
of
should be a
winning.
prize
I mean,
in and of
that's-
itself.
That's amazing. Yeah, I like saying that
If
I'm a winner.
if you aren't satisfied with the fact that you won, then you need to reevaluate, you know, why you're playing marbles. Because when I play marbles to win.
There's no skill involved.
I've never
That is-
heard marbles getting taken so seriously.
That's what losing marbles players think, Bot
But you,
Lady.
but you don't like to play table games.
Well, no, of course I don't like to play table games.
There's less
Nudist
skill
taking
involved
the
than in
lead.
poker.
Let's go, baby.
See, but in marbles, I can use
Right off the
exclamation
bat.
point boost
Or at least the camera's on
in
'em.
chat
Right.
to make my marble go faster.
Right.
And if I do that,
victory, Brian,
next thing you know,
This is
I
the
give you
worst
some
the
luck.
Golden Blazer
How about that?
will
Win the
ever
race.
troll us,
win
apparently.
the race. This is you guys think you guys think this trolling is bad? Whew. Let me tell you. 7:00 Tuesday,
Hi.
Wednesday,
Hi,
Thursday.
y'all.
I'll do the shameless plug. You want to see some high level trolling?
Please plug yourself.
Tuesday,
When do you stream?
7, Thursday 7, Wednesday 7.
What time? Eastern?
Oh, I forgot. I'm in Pacific time right now. It's Central time. So
and what's
5,
your Twitch?
The Golden Blazer.
The
Golden
Blazer.
Blazer. And then what's your Twitch?
Bot Lady.
Oh, mine's the only one that doesn't actually have a name. It's Kingsful. I'm the one that's typing in the chat here.
Kingsful. There you go.
JDR is what I go by.
Is it
That's what I
because
go.
you always hit Kingsful?
That was like probably my favorite hand in Vegas when I lived there. I actually lived there for a good 4 or 5 years,
Uh-huh.
and so yeah, Kingsful.
There
and
you
it's
go.
a good. It actually was Kingsful before 24, and then decided to change it, and then someone took it. So long story
that's
short,
always the worst.
that's where I'm at. Yeah.
It's always the worst. There's nothing worse than going on, like registering for a new account on a site,
Yeah, oh
on like
God.
anything. What, like, it doesn't even matter what it is,
Yeah.
and then your like go-to username is taken, and you're like,
Yeah.
are you for real right now?
So it's
Come
all good.
on.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and finish up this. Let's see who's in the lead. Stones.
We just won.
rigged.
Rigged for
Yeah.
the
Hey, it worked, guys.
stream.
What we
You
did
gotta
earlier.
win
What
this
did we
spin.
win? What do we win?
You gotta win
my
this
Oh, by the
spin.
way, there is a
Oh, look
winner.
at that.
Winner of this last
Look at
game
that.
gets unlimited
Oh.
drinks.
Oh,
so I think we
and
just
I
won.
think we won $100. Look
Hey,
at that,
good
$100
job.
bill
High fives
right
in
here.
the
Woo, we won. We are are the
All
winners. Good job,
Bots
us.
used to winning, so
You think they'll take this?
you could try. I'll watch.
$100.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for being here. Oh man, it's so awesome that you guys were able to hang out. It's 11:42. Looks like we're gonna wrap up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
When's our next scheduled stream? BotLady?
Monday night tomorrow, you and me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here. Okay,
Yeah.
absolutely. Hey guys, I'm just learning my
There you
schedule.
go.
That's all right.
So I'll be here tomorrow.
Early.
Early? What time? Can you call me? What do I need to bring?
Tomorrow, next Monday, which is tomorrow, July 1st, 1-2 No Limit Hold'em and Pot Limit Omaha high mix game with BotLady and JDR. Come back tomorrow night.
Yay!
I'll be in Vegas bagging the mini main.
Yeah,
Oh,
what's your
man.
plan for Vegas? Tell
My
us.
plan is to win all of the hands that I play and not lose the hands that I
So
play.
you're gonna fold a lot.
I am a self-described nit, so
Yeah.
yes.
All right, but nobody else knows that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people are in here right now? Like 2, hopefully.
But how many of them are gonna be at your table?
Zero.
Zero. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
There you go.
If you guys decide to come down to Stone's Gambling Hall, come say hi to us,
Please.
JDR,
Yes.
BotLady, and
Yeah.
if my homie here is in town,
Next time
let's
I'm
see
back.
if we can try to take some of his
Him
money.
and 8 of his friends are
Next
gonna
time.
play that sit and go
Place to
next
be.
month.
Yeah.
I really
hopefully.
would. I don't know if it'll be next month, but I would love for there to be some type
Soon.
of setup where.
Let's do it. Let's work it
yeah,
out.
Figure it out.
Contact us. Contact JFK. Contact
TVG
Magic Mike.
and
We'll make it happen.
friends.
Yes.
Hey, so I gotta
That'd
do
be fun.
something to become a friend. Let's do some research on that.
You're both my friends.
Oh,
Hey.
he touched me.
Wait,
oh,
wait,
You're
wait.
both my
that's so
friends. You're
sweet.
both my
Oh,
friends.
Wait,
sweet.
poker friends?
He's really sweet, you
or-
guys.
It's been
Don't tell
wonderful.
anyone.
It's friends just for tonight.
Poker friends.
It's like,
Thanks
wait
for
a
hanging out,
second.
chat.
Commentator friends.
We'll commentate on that legendary game that's coming.
All of
so
the friends.
I'll
hopefully
make
see
sure to
you
keep
all to
track
come
of
here.
how you're doing in the mini main. I will
Yeah.
keep everyone updated tomorrow.
I know. I got to do the My Stack app. I got to do the whole. I got to do the whole thing so that
Yeah.
everyone can sweat and.
We're definitely going to be updating you tomorrow on how he's doing in the mini main.
Yep, you got it. Stone's Gambling Hall, Citrus Heights, California. Hopefully to see you guys come here soon, or we'll see you online again tomorrow. All right, guys?
You guys rock.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
guys
Love
rock,
you.
chat.
VPIP.
Bye.
Let's go.